Hello, everybody. Welcome along. It is Sunday afternoon football in the EFL Championship, and Leeds United have the chance to go to the top of the table for the first time this season, but in their way are in form and obstinate opponents in Millwall. Come and join us for the next couple of hours for the watch along. Welcome to Leeds United versus Millwall. Hello, everybody. Welcome along to the watch along. Quiet weekend for me. I was busy being a musician yesterday, so we're back into YouTube and Championship action. If you see me look up there, we're live on TikTok as well today. So I'll try and flip between the two as we get through the game, and I'll try and look at some comments and whatnot up over on TikTok up there. Get your thoughts in. Exciting afternoon if you are a Leeds fan. Potentially, because I think it's a 2-goal margin of victory. There is your championship table up on the YouTube feed there. Would send Leeds United to the top of the championship. You can see Leicester in action in the FA Cup. I think they might just have finished against Chelsea, Leicester City, but obviously not in action this round. Ipswich did go second yesterday. So Leeds do need to get the win today and a win by 2 goals, as we say. We'd take them past Leicester on the goal difference, and the goal scored doesn't work for Leeds at the moment. So it does need to be a 2-goal margin of victory. Big welcome, everybody. And as I say, up there on TikTok as well. I'm new to all of this, and my phone is kind of pointing at me from up there. Let's say a few hellos in the comments. Lee, welcome. We'll give Coventry a shout out in a minute. What a win for Coventry in the Cup yesterday. Justice, welcome. Ewan, welcome. Carl, Super Neil, Harris, Mark, welcome. Tim, Alex has got the Millwall team for me. We will get there in just a jiffy. Miles with a meal. Big welcome to Jonesy, Tom, MW, Gary. Have I said hello to everybody? Kev, he's got the man flu. The girls don't understand. There we go. Right, we're going to have a look at the team news, and then we're going to get your predictions. We're going to have Rich joining us as well today from Blue Monday. He's going to join us at Kickoff for this one. A popular addition during the Cardiff and Ipswich watch along. Anyway, let's get into the team news. As is normal here, I have no idea what the teams are. Keep that a nice surprise to myself. So Leeds in goal. Well, we're at that point in the season where we know all about Daniel Farke in the Championship, where he is just going to play exactly the same team every single game, isn't he? Ilan Meslier in goal for Leeds. Firpo and Gray are the fullbacks. How well has Gray done to hold down that right back position? He got mentioned by Gareth Southgate in the England press conference as well. So he's well on their radar. Rodon and Ampadu has been the centre-back partnership since Pascal Struijk got injured. Gruev and Kamara, Gruev, whatever, I'm not Bulgarian. Nonto, Ruter, Somerville and Bamford. I laugh because it is a brilliant, brilliant front line for Leeds United. Get your thoughts in on that. Millwall, you love to see it. Millwall with Neil Harris. Thank you very much. Footmob for messing up at the exact point. I want to read out the Millwall team. Sarkic in goal. 4-4, effing 2. Brooke Norton-Cuffy, who's really good low knee, actually, from Arsenal at right back. Like him a lot. Joe Bryan, experienced Championship left back, star of the playoff final back in the COVID season 2019-2020. Scored 2 goals to send Fulham up, didn't he, from left back. Neil Harris is back, so Jake Cooper is back, and he's going to start every single game ever for Millwall and get first contact on every single set play as well, no doubt. Although he's got a bit of competition from his centre-half partnership, Japhet Tanganga, who scored a couple of set plays very recently. In central midfield, George Saville and friend of the channel, Billy Mitchell. Harris comes back. He's straight back in the team. You love to see it. Leonard and Honeyman are the midfielders, wide midfielders. I suspect we'll see them tucked in and fairly narrow behind the ball today, but we'll see what Millwall have got going on. Zian Fleming and Michael Obafemi are the de facto front two, but again, out of possession. We wonder where those heat maps will have those two guys actually appearing on the pitch. The benches for Leeds, familiar name to Millwall fans, is Charlie Cresswell, because he was on loan there last season. Connor Roberts, who can't shift Archie Gray at right back. Dan James, Jaden Anthony, Joel Pirro. On the bench for Leeds, let me repeat that. Dan James, Jaden Anthony, and Joel Pirro, like their front four isn't already brilliant, and they can bring those three out off the bench. There's Matteo Joseph down there as well. Carl Darlow, Liam Cooper, the club captain. Is that all of them? No. Byram down there at the bottom. Really strong 11 and bench for Leeds United, as you would expect from a team recently up in the Premier League. For Millwall, Mayer, Bialkowski, Denor, McNamara, Watmore, Wallace, Essay, Longman, and Sean Hutchinson. Let's get straight into your predictions, I think. You've got 16 seconds. Give me your score lines. Please write the teams in. If you're watching up there on TikTok as well, have a go. I'll try and have a look up there as we go. Get your predictions, and I'd love to read one from up on the phone as well in this newfangled world of 18 screens in front of me. You've got 16 seconds then. Scoreline, teams, get your predictions in. For Leeds, Millwall, is it going to be the landslide for the home team I'm expecting? You never know. We always have plenty of Millwall fans in here anyway, don't we? So get your predictions in. 16 seconds. Start now. Well, those predictions are coming in as ever. If you look up to my left-hand side, there is the gun show. Who am I kidding? Look up there. We are brought to you in association with Match Bingo. I have already been over. There you go. You can see that even better if you're watching on TikTok. And got my card for Leeds versus Millwall. If I click in purchased, there we go. We are going to be playing along live here on Match Bingo. If you want a sort of introduction, a gentle introduction to Match Bingo, you can play for absolutely free. You can play the Bingos game. You're going to have to wait till next Saturday. And remember, we are in international break. So you're just going to be playing with the League One and League Two sides over on Match Bingo. If you want to get your fix, that is absolutely free. Do let them know we sent you, though, by clicking this here QR code up on the screen on YouTube. And they will know that we sent you. Right. Should we have a look at your predictions in here? How high do I need to scroll up? There we go. Hello to everyone saying hi in the chat. The Dino Army, Millville. I like that. I like 7 goals. Give me 7 goals. Although I could do with a nice calm afternoon. I got in at 2 a.m. yesterday. I'm well too old to be doing that, for God's sake. Don't worry, you Coventry fans. I'm going to give you a shout out in a minute for your magnificent FA Cup win. We'll probably speak about that on the Championship check-in tomorrow. Born free, die free. 0-3 Millwall and a Fleming hat-trick, and he's going to win £2,200. There's a reason for that, born free, die free, but good luck on your bet. What else have we got here? Korg Vinter, 2-1 Leeds. Paul with the Desmond. Miles, 3-2 to Millwall. Lee, 3-1 Leeds. 3-0 Leeds. A couple of Desmonds in here. 3-0 Leeds. Leeds 0, Millwall 1 from NW with a Leeds badge. He's playing the reverse psychology game there. Leeds got to be hot favourites to win this one. 1-1, 4-0 Leeds. A couple of silly 4-3s here. Did Leeds have a Leeds Millwall have a silly 4-3 once? I think they might have, mightn't they, back in the day before Leeds got Bielsa and got good again. 3-0 Leeds, 0-1. Any more for any more. 3-0 Millwall. 4-0 Leeds. We are a bit all over the place on the predictions. Right. This will give me a chance real quickly. Let me just go over the championship scorelines from yesterday, particularly as it pertained to Leeds and Millwall. Although for Leeds, really, it's only the Ipswich score. Leicester and Southampton obviously were due to play each other on Friday night. That one was postponed due to the FA Cup game. That, if anyone can correct me, did Leicester lose 3-2 in the end? I did have it on in the background. There you go. Jed got the late winner. Tom Elliott scored. There has been a 4-3 before. There is form for this. Anyway, yesterday in the Championship, Swansea 2, big win for Swans over Cardiff 2-0. Birmingham 0, Watford 1. My God, Birmingham, you are in trouble. Jesus. Ipswich 6, Sheffield Wednesday 0. I'm not one to gloat, but watch the Blue Monday podcast later on if you want to hear more about that. Let's not make this about my lot. Borough 0, Blackburn 0. 3-0 effing nils yesterday, all quiet. Plymouth 0, Preston 1 as well. Perhaps I can say the same thing about Plymouth as I said about Birmingham. Millwall fans will be well happy with those results. They'll also be happy with Rotherham 0, Huddersfield 0, and Stoke 0, Norwich 3. The results did really go quite nicely for Millwall yesterday, didn't they? Sunderland 0, QPR 0, West Brom 2, Bristol City 0. Not only did no one down at the bottom of the table get any points, I don't think they even scored any goals, did they? Let's just have a look. See how that affects Millwall. Yeah, God, nobody won. You can see Swansea got a victory to get on to 46 points there. And yeah, really good day for Millwall yesterday. Blackburn drew, Plymouth lost, Stoke lost, QPR drew. Nobody won. So, yeah, probably not good news for Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester fans that Millwall have got a bit of a free hit today after the results yesterday. But we know Millwall, and we know Millwall under Neil Harris as well. They will put up the fight. At the top of the table then, this is just huge for Leeds. You can see the prize there. 3 points will take them not only above Ipswich. Well, 3 points will definitely take Millwall. Come on, Ben, sort your life out. 3 points will definitely take Leeds above Ipswich. If they can score 3 points and add 2 onto their goal difference, they are going top of the Championship. And remember, that will be for the first time this season after Leeds' poor start to the campaign. There we go. Have I laid it all out? By the way, let's give full respect to Millwall, even though they're outsiders in this one. A Millwall win, and they need a 2-goal win as well, would put them above Swansea into 15th. That is not the real quiz, though. The important number for Millwall is not the 3 points Swansea are ahead of them. It is the 4 points beneath them that Huddersfield Town are in the relegation zone. So anything they can add on to that will be a big, big bonus. We've got a couple of Coventry fans. I can see Lee and Hector in there in the chat. Big shout out to Coventry as well. Magnificent FA Cup win for Coventry yesterday. 4-2, Richard's just told me in the private chat. Chelsea must have scored again right at the end of that. Right, players are coming out. Let's bring my man Rich in. Right, Rich, you're not allowed to talk about Ipswich.
I'll leave you to it, shall I then? Yeah.
But big welcome to Rich from the Blue Monday podcast. We can plug Blue Monday, but we have to talk about Ipswich in terms of Leeds, don't we? Ipswich needed a reply to that horrible defeat that you and I covered last week. 3 points is 3 points. Doesn't matter if you win 1-0 or 6-0, and Leeds will still overtake them with a win today. But I think Ipswich blew away some cobwebs yesterday. I don't think there's any more pressure on Leeds because of it today. They knew their gig, and they're looking more at Leicester than Ipswich anyway, aren't they? They know you can go above both of them. But big response for Ipswich. And can you parlay that? Am I going to be seeing Leeds top of the table in 2 hours?
Yeah, I think you are, unfortunately. As an Ipswich fan, I say unfortunately. But what it does do, Ben, is just compress everything up, doesn't it? And the Leicester equation is probably the bigger narrative point now, isn't it? I personally, I did some BBC local radio, over the weekend, and they asked me for my top 2 prediction. And I'm one of these people that's never going to big up my own team, but I think Leeds will win the championship. Obviously, a big statement needed today to make that happen. You can't underestimate Millwall, especially under Harris at the moment. But I think Leeds are probably my favourites for the title, Ben, at this point. I don't know about you.
Well, they've definitely got the momentum, haven't they? And the Leicester. Leicester don't have the kind of cup stuff anymore. What we did get yesterday with Coventry getting through now, Leeds now clearly have the best running because Ipswich are going to have to play an extra midweek game now with Coventry getting through in the FA Cup. So I think Leeds have got the momentum. They're in the best form. You can make a reasonable argument that they've got to get to the top first before we can call them favourites. But I think there's an argument for it, isn't there?
Yeah, I think Leeds' squad is probably the better of the two at the moment as well. I think all of the players that need to be in form are in form. We look at Leicester and Dewsbury Hall, for example, who carried them to an extent for the first half of the season. He was better against Chelsea today, I thought. I watched the first half of that one and probably created a few chances that they should have done better with. But it just feels like Leeds have got the big players in form. But I'm intrigued by this one. I don't think it will be a comfortable afternoon for Millwall, for Leeds, but I just think that quality is too high, isn't it?
It is. And we have kicked off. It is Leeds versus Millwall. We are watching on Sky Sports main event live. Let me press a stinger. Frantic start by Millwall, by the way. Everyone knows Ipswich used to do that centre back in the day with Terry Butcher, where the centre back just runs into the other half and they boot the ball forward, which is lovely to see. But they've actually got Leeds. I did see a game where Preston did this at the start of the match and actually scored in the first minute by pegging Leeds back. An hour and a half later, Leeds scored a stoppage time winner and won that game 2-1. But decent enough start for Millwall in this one. And, I think now Neil Harris is back. We know where every free kick's going. So watch Jake Cooper at the back post. Gruev is marking him. I know there's nobody who is going to not give up a size advantage on Cooper. Saville whips it in. It's not a great free kick. And Cooper has been done for pulling. They've made him the captain as well. Has Harris just come back in and just played the old hits here and got them moving again?
Yeah, I was doing some analysis on the difference between the Sheffield Wednesday game and the Birmingham game in terms of stats, Ben, and it's crazy. Possessions dropped 10%, but the XG has gone up, shots on target has gone up, all that kind of stuff. The accurate passes has gone down, but it just felt, and we've seen this before at Ipswich as well, when you go from McCarthy to Hurst, from a tried and tested, very pragmatic style of football to then try and be young and interesting and different. Unless you've got the buy-in of the squad, it's really difficult. And it just felt like Millwall and Joe were trying to change something too quickly that didn't really need changing either. So, yeah, no surprise to me that Saville is going to come in and being really important as well, and getting the best out of Fleming as well. Really important for Millwall, isn't it?
I think he's going to play Fleming like Rowett played Fleming and Rowett played Jed Wallace. Look, play second striker. Every time you get the ball, you can dribble. Look, like Colwell did against Ipswich the other day. You can dribble, you can shoot from wherever. By the way, if you are up there watching on TikTok, obviously you won't hear Richard's input. That's coming down the YouTube feed. But
you're not missing out on anything. Don't worry about
it. Different social media platforms for different needs. Lee, you absolute legend. He's high on life after that Coventry win yesterday. 199 on the Blues. In goes the cross from the right-hand side for Millwall, who are doing exactly as you would expect. They're pressing they're making it aggressive. You just have to hope from a Millwall point of view that Leeds don't get their passing snapping, because they will cut right through any sort of press this Leeds quality, won't they?
That 4-3 that you were talking about, by the way, was 2018. I think Millwall took a 2-0 lead, let it slip. Leeds went down to 10, and then 2 late goals to win it for Millwall 4-3, 2018, I think. And I think there was wasn't there a playoff that involved Leeds and Millwall?
Yes,
Neil Harris playing as well. So
Jimmy,
nice narrative though.
Oh, some of the Millwall fans. Jimmy Abdu, was it? Yeah, who's a bit of a. It's so weird that to see that, because since Bielsa came back to Leeds, the stadium was like just full immediately as soon as he walked in. And you forget that in the League One days, those Leeds fans were not motivated to come along what they were seeing. And it's it's a giant club, but they were down in the doldrums in League One. Here is Grueff to Kamara. Leeds just getting their foot on the ball for the first time. Rodon, Ampadu, the Leeds captain. I was going to say he's been a revelation, but you drop 7-8 million quid on a player from the Premier League. He's probably going to do all right in the Championship, isn't he? Somerville, who Leeds fans will never not point out to me, cost 1.5 million. Yes, he was a bargain. We get that.
What about the rest of them? Eh?
Yeah.
But Millwall, opportunity for Millwall. I'll let you speak about this.
Yeah, over Famey. Tries to pop it through to Fleming, who shouts for handball. He's not going to get that one.
I'm shouting for handball, but I need to? Oh, here we go.
Somerville driving through in the 10. Bamford to his left. Somerville hits the shot deflected. Corner Leeds, Rich.
Yeah, Somerville doing what Somerville does, doesn't it? I thought there was a question of handball there, but I guess you're not going to give that one. But yeah, kind of sloppy possession in the centre circle, isn't it? And they're just backing off him too much. Somerville, fortunately, block comes in just at the right time.
Look at that. Two men of supreme knowledge. A pleasure to watch the Seager run or something, hasn't he? Talking about us.
I don't know who's doing programs.
Lewis, I was working all day yesterday. I don't know what Derby did, so you're going to have to tell me. I take it they've had a great win. Grueff floats the corner in left-footed. If you're Neil Harris and you were to concede from a set play today, you'd be, yeah, that's going to be the other way around. Jared, Somerville doesn't like to pass. Well, that worked pretty well for the first 4 months of the season, didn't it?
Leeds being patient, aren't they, Ben? I was kind of expecting them to kind of come out all guns blazing because I think if Leeds score first in this game, it could be a 3 or a 4-0, couldn't it? But actually quite patient. I guess they've got plenty of time, haven't they?
Afternoon to Ian. If you want to get that lovely, people love getting that symbol by their name. Hit the join button down there. Oh, here comes Ruter, who normally is the canary in the coal mine for Leeds. Cross goes in, and that's going to be a cut. I always know when Leeds are about to start winning, I'm saying the word Ruter more and often, Rich.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at Nonto here, completely unmarked if they dink. I mean, he gets drawn into the middle towards the penalty spot. If he holds his position, actually, I think there's a dink ball over the top for him to volley in. But yeah, Leeds starting to ramp it up, aren't they?
Corner to Leeds United, 6:38 on the clock. Let us know if you want to timestamp wherever you're watching. We're on Sky Sports Main Event Live HD. And Leeds with their second corner. I think, they've only had 2, haven't they? In it comes. Floaty one, looking for Ampadu. Ampadu gets the header. Bamford scoops it up and on to the roof of the net. Lewis, 1-0 win, complete and utter Bolton domination for 75 minutes and a late goal from a set play. There you go. Are we going to get, Rich, potentially a couple of big clubs and big fan bases, Derby and Pompey, coming back to the Championship possibly next season? It's good for the league, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, fair play to
you get Bolton as well.
Oh, I know. I was worried about Derby for a while. It did feel like, especially end of last season towards the beginning of this one, you just didn't feel that Paul Ward and Derby, and certainly the Derby support, felt that there was a match there. But yeah, just silently getting stuff done very quickly. Obviously, Pompey being the form team, and a lot to like about John Massinio. Whether they've got the same ability to attack the division like Ipswich have is to be seen. But yeah, it's good to have decent teams. Pompey always great, isn't it? To go to Fratton Park, and Derby when they're up for it, also good. And I'm sure you've had plenty of fun watch-alongs in the past, Ben, watching Derby, haven't you, in the playoffs against this lot, haven't you? Derby Leeds, have you done that?
I was at the game.
Of course you were, yeah. You've just witnessed, in
the stadium. I've just witnessed one of the most mental games I've ever seen in my entire life. In fact, if I hadn't been present at Ipswich 5, Bolton 3, probably one of the greatest games I've ever seen. In fact, here comes Rodon, Ruter, nicked off him by Honeyman. Honeyman tries to slip over Famey through. It's a bit frantic, but that's the way they've got to try and play that. Just jump on it, haven't they? Jacob, Pompey will finish top half next season. You heard it here first. Well, I can tell you, with Mr. Jamie Mackey, who I used to work with, being best mates with John Massinio. I heard that about 18 months ago, but there you go. Drop that one in. Drop that one in, Rich. Bamford, Nonto, first time we mentioned him.
Nice.
Nicely played. Gray in off the right. Oh, lovely ball by Gray. Look at that. Firpo blocked and, keeper's ball there. No, it's going to be played out. Who's playing right back for Millwall, Rich?
1 sec.
Here's Kamara down
Leonard, isn't it?
left. Sorry, Ryan Leonard boots it down the line. Didn't recognise him.
I think that's the trouble for Millwall, isn't it? In those moments there, maybe under Edwards, actually, the intent would be to keep the ball, wouldn't it? But it's pumped up the line and there's no one really searching for it. They've got to be really smart with how they use the ball, Millwall, when they break up the Leeds' chances and opportunity. I thought Obafemi was going to get away. What's your thoughts on Obafemi, by the way? I quite like him in principle.
On paper, it works, doesn't it? But yeah, he's not quite yet delivering on the pitch. Everybody's got a bit of Irish in them somewhere along the line, haven't they? Today's St. Patrick's Day. Who is the best Irishman to play for your club? There you go. Stick that in the chat. Martin O'Neill's got the shout. Does he count Northern Irish?
Northern Irish. Sorry, apologies. That's
Daryl Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy was good. Matt Holland.
Bloody Croydon or something, isn't he?
No comment. No comment. Scored an important goal at a World Cup, though, didn't he?
He did, didn't he? And he bloody loved it, hey? I can tell you a funny story about that off air. Dave, £2 on the super chat. That's the only way this type of housery is getting read out.
I see the game he's playing.
Don't mention Bobby Zamora to the Derby fans, eh? Dear oh me. There you go. Robbie Keane. Mark Kennedy. Tony Cascarino. You win with that one. He's another one from Bromley or something. Cascarino. David Mailer. Oh, Johnny Giles. All right, Leeds fans. Go away with your world-class players. Booted forward by Sarkic. Swept up by Leeds. Somerville knocks it back.
They all had quite a few players up with that, didn't they, Ben? But all really congested or all around the same area of the pitch. I guess the intention maybe is to press Leeds and to force the mistake, but they're in trouble here with Gray.
Oh, he nearly slid Somerville in there. Gray's committed the foul. Yeah, Millwall want this to be, and I don't take this any sign of disrespect, Millwall fans. They want it to be like one of those playground games where everyone's like 10 metres from the ball at all times and closing everything down. Paul McGrath, Worth. There we go. Johnny Giles. After going to Rotherham and coming home with a 0-0, I'm 70-30. We will go down, MH5. Presumably a Huddersfield fan there. They just replayed the Gray foul. I don't think it was a yellow card. He's a bit late, but, it's a nice, neat slide. I don't think he's smacked him with excessive force. I wouldn't have got the yellow out for that one. Personally, other opinions are allowed. Tanganga. Honeyman. Obafemi. Nodded back and Kamara jumps on it. Here's Ruter pokes that through. Nice play. Somerville. Ruter blocked out. I think that was going over the bar. Kamara, lovely reverse ball by Kamara. Side netting by Somerville. I think he's got a corner.
Yeah, I think it's got a corner. There was a handball shout which I thought hit someone in the face, but it all starts, Ben, from Obafemi with a kind of a weak header. Millwall actually had pretty good bit of possession there. Just gave the ball away, and it's gone through. Is it Tanganga's legs there, deflected? Oh, he's got an arm out, unnatural.
His back turned. Meh.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Billy Mitchell, did not handball that. No, we'll call it down the middle. Clipped in by Somerville. It's a poor ball. How are you feeling? This is not a great deal, is it? If Leeds had made a big chance at any point, I'd be saying they're kind of ramping up. Although Sky have just put up a stat saying Leeds shots 5-0, touches in opposition's box 7-0, possession 72-28. Yeah,
Farker's zipping his jacket off. It's blue sky there. It's miserable where I am, Ben. I don't know about you. Looks bloody glorious in Leeds, and he's putting his jacket up. But yeah, I think
all part of the mythology of old Farker.
Maybe the mind games there. I think Millwall are doing what they need to do at the moment. I don't think, as much as Leeds have had those shots, keeper's not. Sarkic hasn't been tested just yet, has he? So blocks getting him.
Yeah, and as much as Leeds want to go top of the league with a 2-0 win, I'm sure they'll take a 1-goal win and play the long game here, the Leeds fans, won't they? And draw points on Leicester. And I don't know, I hear both sides of the story, Rich, at the end of the season. Oh, do you want congested fixtures and have games in hand, or do you want the points on the board? I mean, it depends who the fixtures against and how congested they are, doesn't it? But I suspect Leeds would take joint top, having played a game more, given they were 17 points off in whenever that first game was, October, November time.
I don't know. Well, Southampton aren't fully out of it yet either. They're the only team of the four, really, that has had that just sustained, stupid, ridiculous long run, didn't they? I mean, it was an unbeaten run rather than a winning run, which Leeds have had. But I just think there's so much chaos there. And, your mate Sam likes to talk about players like to play games, don't they, rather than sit out. Yeah. But here's Nonto.
Every player I've ever spoken to likes to talk about that, Rich. They don't want to train. They don't want to train. They want to play. Do you know
the fixture congestion is kind of, on paper as fans, we can maybe clutching at straws, aren't we, trying to fight, as an Ipswich fan. It's great to hear that Southampton have got 9 games to play in April or whatever it is. But, if they win 8 of those 9, then they're right back in it as well, aren't they? And Easter's weird. I'm sure you'll talk about Easter with Sam in a couple of weeks now. Random
Sam's
results.
Bloody swanned off to France now, so I'm not talking to him for the next week. Yeah,
for his birthday, isn't it? Is it his birthday last week?
It's his birthday.
Yeah, I think someone posted a goal. For those of you who want to watch Ipswich goals from yesteryear, then follow me on Twitter at Ipswich. But someone, reappropriated one of my posts to wish him happy birthday.
Fleming drives the shot from long range, straight down the throat of Ilan Meslier. He's got it in his locker from there, Fleming, but I think it's fairly clear what instructions he's got, and it's dribble and shoot at any point. Is this worth a sin bin from John? Glorious here in South Sardinia. I'm in a locked garage in Bedfordshire, John, so I couldn't possibly compare.
Well, what's Jake going on with Nonto?
Is lying on top of Nonto. They've all got... Now,
getting
what
naughty.
has Nonto done there? The linesman's trying to pour cold water on it. They've all got the memo to wind up Nonto, haven't they? We saw that from that
around him now.
Huddersfield game. The officials have done pretty well. Saville's trying to wind him up as well. There was a point where, to be fair, Cooper deliberately laid on top of him to try and provoke him. It did look like a point where Nonto was leaning over Cooper. I've got to admit, I need to see a
replay, don't we?
A replay. The
Lino was on the spot, wasn't he?
Was on the spot. There's a card coming out.
I think it's a yellow from that pocket,
and it's a yellow for Cooper.
Yeah, he was a bit naughty, I think.
Oh, he was provoking him big style, and a yellow for Nonto. I haven't seen the replay, Rich, but my first instinct is the officials have dealt with that pretty well. Let's just watch
both
the
as
replay.
bad as each other, I think, here, isn't it? Cooper's definitely sitting in there. Nonto quite rightly wants to out of it.
Pulls him on top of him.
I think the referee's got that spot on.
If anything, Nonto's a bit unlucky there, because Cooper's definitely the instigator of that. Look, he grabs hold of him, rolls him back on top of him.
Well, there's an elbow to the chin, though. That's a bit naughty. Other angle's not so flattering for Nonto, I think, but yeah, a little bit of naughtiness. 9 yellow cards for Cooper, shock.
Yeah, right. Would you rather have Cooper on a yellow card or Nonto on a yellow card, given one's a centre-back and one's a flying winger? But fun and games there, and a bit of shahousery.
I think if you're Millwall, you want to wind up Leeds at home, but maybe not at Ellen Road, Ben. You don't want to bring the crowd into it. It's getting a bit feisty, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Millwall will like that. They, Leeds will want to play a nice, slick game. Millwall will want a nice fight, won't they? And they're drawing. Huddersfield did a fair good job of that. I mean, Huddersfield crossed the line a bit against Leeds, didn't they? They kicked 7 bells out of them in the first half, but they got a point doing that. And as you know, I'm big on player safety. Obviously, people call me a snowflake for it, but I don't want to see any players getting injured. But if you can not cross the line, then play the game on your terms. Dangerous looking free kick here, Rich, for Millwall, which Saville puts in left-footed.
Corner.
I think that came off for White, didn't it?
No,
came off Cooper in the end.
Yeah, just a bit too deep, really, isn't it? I thought it came off a White shirt, but no,
I think it hits Cooper on the head after he's just finished in his jump. Louis, it's getting heated. Come on, you Wool. And come on, you lot in the chat. 752 of you between YouTube and Twitter and all of that good stuff. We appreciate it. And however many there is on TikTok, Rich, which my missus told me, just stick the camera up there. You've got it up there anyway. Seeing if I text you, stick TikTok on. So big hello up
like
there.
6 million on TikTok, won't there, Ben, or something? So it works, isn't it?
I couldn't even tell you what's going on up there. I can see myself in the less than. This is a flattering angle.
Dancing. You got to dance on TikTok as well, mate. Come on.
Can you imagine this being flattering? Imagine what that bloody looks like up there. Dear oh me.
Apologies to everyone. I have to look down to see Ben. By the way, I've got a very strange setup. So the match is over there. My camera's up there, and Ben's down here. So apologies if I'm looking in random places. Everyone, apologies for that.
Rodon. Ampadu, we'll do a like spike in a minute when the ball goes dead, I think. Melier. Gruith. Kamara. Look at that 4-4-2 shape. You love to see it. Mitchell and Norton Cuffy just switching. Oh, that's a point. Where's Norton Cuffy playing? I expected him to play right back. Here is Kamara. Somerville holds it up, horribly congested. That doesn't matter if you're Rooter, does it?
Yeah, bodies back for Millwall, which they have to do.
The locksmith, Rooter.
The best they can do is clear to halfway again. Yeah.
Kamara stands on the ball. Mitchell closes him down. Rooter. I really do like Rooter. I know, go figure, he's a 35 million euro player playing in the Championship, but always plays forward, always tries to pick the lock, always dribbles. Must be horrible to play against.
Yeah, he'd be in my Championship team of the season, I think. He definitely scored us at Portman Road. I remember that. But yeah, you just want quality attacking players, don't you, at this level to actually do what they need to do. I mean, on that point, it's interesting he brought Bamford in. I think Pirro's not had the best of runs of late, but I just wonder whether this is Leeds' strategy and the way they like to play brings out the best in Bamford's. Obviously scored, didn't he, against Sheffield Wednesday. I don't see them getting crosses in though, Ben. It generally is attacks down the middle through Somerville, isn't it? And you just wonder whether it's a bit of a waste of a space having Bamford in maybe first off. I don't know. I don't know what you think about how to exploit the best out of Bamford.
I think if two people as intelligent as, you know what I think of Bielsa and Farker both pick that guy up front in their football teams, I think he's a good trainer who knows how to follow these instructions that he's been given. So I think he's a proper, you know, like Heskey, where all the managers say, oh, here's Rooter. Rooter tries to dribble in the box. You know, like Heskey, where every manager said, oh, no, he's a dream. I pick him. He does exactly what I say every single game. I think I'm not comparing Bamford to Heskey as a player, but in the way they obviously do exactly what their managers want them to.
Rooter's done really well there, hasn't he? A bit of shirt pulling as well by Millwall, but goes for it anyway and, wins the corner.
So corner, Somerville's going to pop it in with the right foot. Honeyman is about 6 yards away. He's now about 8 yards away. And it goes. Who's that? It's Fleming, I think, got his head on it. And Saville knocks it out. How's he got the throw in there?
Throw? Wow.
Clearly a Leeds throw, isn't it?
Happy.
Again, we said this last time, that sometimes the linesman is the worst positioned person in the stadium when he's that close to the action to give the decision. I think he touches it twice.
Yeah, Rodon not happy. Does he not?
One. Oh, no, just the one. Yeah.
That's an obvious Leeds story, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's not actually in a bad position. But let's not pile in on officials.
No,
They get
it's a
enough
hard job.
disrespect. It's a hard job.
And that's a foul throw-in, but by Brian, but never mind, eh? Yeah, I guess
it's a hard job.
My point on Bamford, Ben, is he's generally probably you'll get him really low key for the majority of the game, but he'll pop up and score a goal, which is exactly what you want the forward to do. But I guess you compare it, and we're spoiled at Ipswich to have George Hurst and then now Kiefer Moore, who are kind of integral for the way that McKenna wants to play football. And I guess at Leeds, you don't necessarily need that because you've got the talent either side. Obviously, we do that as well, but Ruter is going to control stuff and go wherever he wants down the left-hand side. And he's over on the right at the moment on Nonto's side of the pitch as well. But I guess I expect the strikers to drop in and maybe contribute more to the passages of play in the build-up. But maybe he's been told your job is to be the fox in the box, perhaps.
Like Pookie was.
Yeah, exactly right.
Pookie was a bloody machine, though. What a player. Gray is down. I did not see the foul, so I'm going to plead the fifth until I see the replay.
There's a card coming out, though, so...
referee is bringing the card out. Just give me a chance to do a little match bingo check up. Who is it? Fleming going in the
book, yeah.
In the book. He's left one on a Gray. Look at that on the old match bingo, Rich. Looks promising.
Hello.
Yeah, looks promising. There you go on TikTok. You get a much better view of that than on YouTube, but you don't get to hear Rich. Who's the ref today, by the way? Is referee Martin. Steve
Martin.
It is. Do you watch Only Murders in the Building?
It's brilliant, isn't it? I love it.
I would highly recommend on Disney, or is it on Apple?
Disney Plus. Yeah, Disney.
Yeah, give it a look. Here is, we never did a like spike, did we? Ampadu.
I thought that Booker to Fleming was a little bit harsh. He's probably out of control a little bit, which is why, or it's aggressive maybe, but I think he actually tries. It's a legitimate attempt to try and win the ball. It's just a little bit overzealous, perhaps. And that's good play.
I was looking at my match bingo card. I will not be coming in.
No, that's fine. I'm happy to take the. It's not my channel, mate. I'll say whatever I want.
Callum,
get you in trouble.
Another of our Coventry fans in it. Congratulations, Coventry going to Wembley for the second season running, flying the flag for the championship. They've got the small matter so far of Man City, Chelsea, or Liverpool and Man United is going to be joining them in the semi-finals. But yeah, just enjoy it, Coventry, and brilliant for the championship. Firpo clears up the line. Expect Neil Harris to be pretty happy with this, Rich. 26 gone, 3 yellow cards, no goals conceded.
A shot on target. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Sarkic hasn't had anything meaningful to do, has he? So I was just thinking, how many times have Coventry been to the new Wembley in comparison to us? Ipswich never having gone to the new Wembley.
Oh God, there's only about 6 teams that have never played there now, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Rubbish for us, isn't it? But yeah, Coventry, I think, have had a Johnston's Paint Trophy final, a couple of playoff finals, I think, as well. So yeah, good on Coventry. Love Coventry. As everyone on our channel likes to remind me of.
Rodon, Grove, Kamara, Grove.
Look at that shape from Millwall.
4-4, effing 2. Brilliant. Ruter gets fouled there. Ref lets it go. Ruter again. Has he got control of it? Who knows? Firpo, Bamford, nice play. Somerville, that's brilliant from Leeds. Firpo.
Does he try and back in this, Nonto?
I think it's going to be a corner. I was going to say I thought it'd come off Cooper last, and then Tanganga appeared from a pile of players. I didn't even see him there.
Yeah, Bamford does well, doesn't he? Patient, but you kind of thought once he gets in behind here, it's inevitable goal. But
so good, wasn't it?
Body's back.
Great. 2 great passes there. One from Bamford, one from Somerville. There's Somerville again from the corner. Somerville right-footed. Oh, great feint. Somerville edge of the box. Hits the shot. Blocked.
Fair play,
away. Obafemi. Brian. Obafemi.
1v1 there, nearly.
Kamara. Brian has nicked it off him. Brian inside to Obafemi. And...
wins a foul.
Firpo, I think he's just gone in a bit hefty there.
Yeah, he just
did a replay there.
I would describe that expression as incredulous, Ben. He looks shocked he's about to get a yellow card here, but it's a foul, definitely. Whether it's like Fleming's one, I think maybe it's a little bit borderline. He's maybe a little bit unlucky here. Oh no,
Yeah,
it's like
I
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
it's a
The
bit rash,
wording
isn't it?
is endangering the opponent, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was good by Millwall as well, though, isn't it? Kept the ball, got up the pitch. It's just a shame, really, that they haven't got the options kind of left and right. It was that the ball needed to be played out right, but there were so many passes that needed to get it there. But Millwall just need to keep winning these free kicks, don't they? And try and get bodies in the box and then get back as soon as they can if they don't score, in case Leeds break on them. But yeah, I
He's
think
got
Millwall
a,
have played this right.
he's got a hard job over Famer. You just want to see it stick a bit more when it
Yeah,
goes into him, but he's got a hard job. In it goes the free kick. Cooper actually wins one
again.
this time, but heads it up and over, which gives me a chance, Richard, to do a like spike. You have got 9 seconds, everybody watching on YouTube, and actually do it on Twitter and on TikTok.
TikTok.
Is it a heart on there? It's a
I think so.
heart
Yeah, it's
on
a heart.
Twitter and just hit a positive thing. You've got 9 seconds. Go. TikTok exclusive. You'll get to hear me whistle the like spike music, which you won't get on any other platform. Gray heads that one away.
I think the
Nonto.
there's a moment here for Millwall if they play this right. Look over the right hand side. Is it Norton Cuffey completely unmarked? The
Yeah.
trouble is, yeah, Leeds get in, don't they? But I think probably
Kamara.
the biggest thing, Ben, that's a foul here for Leeds, probably right. The biggest thing that we saw the latter end of the Joe Edwards reign, didn't we? Ipswich winning 4-0, and you just didn't see anyone getting their bodies on the line or trying to press the opposition. Whether it's new manager bounce or just going back to basics. Millwall are, it's a cliche, Ben, but they're putting in a real shift, aren't they, so far? Whether they can hold out for the whole 90 is another thing, but the fact that Sarkic hasn't had anything to do really yet, and bodies are getting chucked in the way of shots, winning fouls high up the pitch, this is a pretty good kind of defensive type away performance, isn't it, from Millwall so far?
Firpo hooks that forward, already gone out of play. It's going to be a Millwall throw. And yeah, I don't want to dampen Millwall's kind of expectations in this, but this is pretty much exactly as they'd have wanted to report it at 30 minutes. Just the thing with Leeds and their front four is doesn't matter how comfortable you are at 30 minutes or how well you've done it. Just score a goal just like that, can't they? But long throw coming in. Cooper tries to get the flick. He'd come up from centre back. Norton Cuffield. Bamford's closed it down. Bamford, has he got the pace to get beyond his man? He does not, but he has found Nonto. Nonto on the right-hand side crosses it. Back post. Somerville gets the touch. It's going to fall on the edge of the box to Ruter with an atrocious volley. Oh, dear. They got so badly caught. And of all of those four forwards, Bamford's the one with the least pace, Rich. And
yeah. But yeah, caught out on halfway, isn't it? And I mean, fair play to Millwall. They do try and get the bodies in behind, but they go to the ball. Nonto, therefore, completely unmarked. But I just wonder whether he should wait a little bit longer before picking out the pass. And then by the time Millwall get it clear, out to Ruter on the edge. Leaning back and a bit of a swiped finish, isn't it?
It wasn't who got caught. Was it Joe Bryan? Because they'd sent, obviously, Cooper up for the long throw-in. So they were light at the back there. Millwall, and very nearly got very badly caught out. And as I say, all the Leeds fans are wishing that was, well, anyone other than Bamford, given the speed of Nonto and Somerville and Ruter. Here is Nonto! Ho-ho! I said they could score out of nowhere, and Nonto smashes that one in with the left foot from the edge of the box. 32 gone, and it is Leeds United 1, Millwall 0. What a strike that is, Rich.
That's a hit. It's all a little bit too easy, isn't it? Millwall maybe not got their shape back in. Draws it across the area to the middle of the pitch and just slices it. Not even slices it, is it? Kind of just outside the boot, curling it outwards as well, right into the corner of that. We said Sarkic hasn't had anything to do, and now the ball's gone past him. Really good. Great
Ain't
goal, that.
saving that. Oh, it's a great goal.
Cooper's kind of obscuring him, isn't he, as well?
Well, the thing with that is he's coming in off the right, Nonto, and you expect him to go to the keeper's right, but he hooks right back across it into the far corner. It's fair play. It's just a brilliant goal, isn't it?
Right in the corner, isn't it? Not a
by
great
Leeds.
celebration, if you ask me, but I'm not sure what that is. It's kind of like a knee slide into like a side roll kind of thing. Something like my niece would do in the garden outside, I think. Not the best there, but doesn't matter when you score goals like that. That is cracking.
The Eskimo roll. And Leeds United are in second now once again on the live league table. And we now all know if the ball crosses the line again for Leeds United, they go top of the championship. They will move ahead of Leicester City on goal difference. It's been very much Leeds, trying to kind of push, and Millwall doing their best to just force it up the pitch and press. But they've been pretty patient, haven't they? Leeds? And they've had to rely on a bit of quality to give them the lead. But man, that's the deal when you've got good forwards, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. And I guess if you're Millwall, you wanted, got it to about the half-hour mark, didn't they? But just
Somerville breaks into the box. Somerville fear poke. Can he find the cut back? Scoops up in the air. Sarkic pushes it away. Sorry, Rich. Continue thought.
No, I was going to say that the worst thing for Millwall now will be to go 2 down straight away. It's kind of then game over, isn't it? At least as the away team, if you can keep it to 1, but almost straight away Leeds are back in again. Good bodies on the line. Sarkic scoops it out of the goal, doesn't he? But yeah, you kind of worry for Millwall. If you Leeds the home team, I think you want to get 2, maybe even 3 before half time, and
put any. It's a really good bit of goalkeeping. Yeah, I think that's probably dropping inside the post. That corner Leeds. Somerville puts it in. Oh, Ampadu Bamford, can he spin and hit? Good defending by Millwall. Got legs in the way. Fear pipe. I think that's going to be another corner. And yeah, we said you'd expect Millwall to be sort of dominant on set pieces, but Leeds nearly scored from one there, Rich.
Yeah, again, Millwall just chucking bodies in there, isn't it? I think the trouble for me with the Leeds corners so far, the routines, I'm not really sure who they're trying to pick out, Ben. I think putting into an area, I know we kind of talk about how corners are actually massively overrated as a chance creation. Fans always cheer when your team wins a corner, but actually I kind of think, sticking it in the box is fine. But if you're up against a Millwall team, quite a tall Millwall team, probably winning the height advantage, and there's more bants going on in the penalty area, grabbing and hugging or whatever. I don't know what the referee's chatting about, but yeah, I just kind of think against Millwall, you may as well play it short, Ben. I think. Do you know?
There's an argument for it, isn't there? I suppose they've only really got Rodon and Ampadu, who are sort of big guys, the 2 centre halves. Somerville pops it in right-footed. Edge of the box is Gruif. Ruter v Tanganga. Ruter skins him. That came back off the white shirt, didn't it, of Ruter. Let's just do the numbers really quickly. I suspect they're pretty heavily in Leeds' favour, but we will look nonetheless. And the XG is an interesting one. 72-28 on the possession, 0.22, 0.26 from Millwall. There must have been a close range header they got first contact on. Shots on target, 1 apiece, but lies down license statistics, Rich, has been Leeds who've done all the attacking, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, what we were saying before was it was create that good chance, but as you said at the time, if you can give the ball to Nonto around the penalty area, or even Somerville, that quality will tell eventually, and it has. Again, something naughty here. Looks like Bruce looking for an elbow in the face. They're trying to get Cooper in trouble here, Ben?
Didn't see it. Yeah, I'll have to rely on the replay.
Oh, he does swing his arm round. Whether it's premeditated or not, I don't know.
Yeah. All a bit meh.
You're not having it, are you? I'm trying to find drama here.
I think he's just reaching round to feel where his man is, and I know I wound the Leeds fans up with the hog thing in the Huddersfield game. I'm looking for a swing of the elbow.
Yeah, no, you're right. He doesn't know where his man is, does he? He's looking to find him. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah.
But look, 6-1, half a dozen the other, and Cooper's just laid on top of Nonto 10 minutes ago, so I don't blame Ruter for going down there, to be honest. It's, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. How many more cliches can I throw in? I want to get on that accidental partridge channel, Rich, on the I've been on that Brian's gun thing, spouting football cliches twice now.
What was your Brian's gun thing? I have seen it, but I'm trying to remember what the theme was.
I said, I've been on twice. I said a plum tie.
Yep.
He's just had hundreds of people saying plum tie. I can't remember what the other thing I said was. Some inane, stupid football cliche that doesn't mean anything in real life. But I was very proud to Richard Keys it and getting on. Villa 1-1 in the FA Cup. West Ham 1, Villa 1. 81 minutes gone, says Footmob. It is Leeds 1, Millwall 0. Leeds heading back into second place. More pertinently, Richard, level on points, having been 17 behind with Leicester City, who will now have a game in hand. I was going to mention what Sky have just put on the screen about Firpo getting forward down the left. That's been really good, Somerville and Firpo, hasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know whether that's deliberate because of Millwall. Maybe you said you were worried. Well, you're not worried. You were interested where Norton Cuffy's position is taken.
Oh, he's playing in midfield, isn't he? Yeah,
he's mid midfield, and I wonder whether that was in there thinking.
No, he's not. Sorry, he must have just caught Leonard in the right back area. I'll have a look. Oh, no, he is playing ahead of him, isn't he?
I think he is. Yeah, because I think it is Leonard out of right back.
It's very much two fullbacks, isn't it, to cope with that side, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the goal has come from a right winger cutting in, though, isn't it? So as much as the possession and here's Bamford doing more than when I started bitching about him earlier. He started to drop in a little bit and get on the ball, isn't he? Which I think he needed to do.
Yeah. Gray. Love that position that Gray takes up from fullback, just goes into central midfield. That really gives your opponent something to think about and opens up the right-hand side, say, for Nonto to get out onto the wing. I remember watching Norwich under Farker and just watching their for a while in the game. I was at pitch level as well. I remember watching the rotation of the central midfielders, and it was impressed me a lot, I have to say. And that was 5 years ago, I think. So, we know what to expect.
Even Kamara's getting forward here. Look at number 8 on the edge of the box there for Leeds.
He refused to shoot. He's like Makalele, isn't he? Ruter into the box. It's going to be another corner.
That was a good battle
for Leeds.
Yeah, I think
Norton, Cuffy, and Ruter, Rich.
Yeah, Ruter's having great fun, isn't he? And I like this battle. Norton Cuffy, I think, does well there. Obviously, doesn't want to concede the corner, but as I say, if they're going to continue to pump them straight into the middle of the box, Ben, I wouldn't be too worried about giving away corners to Leeds. But they're going now short. Now I've mentioned it.
Andrew's brought up craft beer. I might have a response to that in a second. Here is Somerville. Somerville, edge of the box, right footy. Good save, Sarkic. That didn't look like it missed by much, even after the parry. Mitchell jockeys Somerville. Where's this going, Rich?
That's in. That's a great save.
Is that touch the post or just go around it?
Just round it. But I think the biggest issue there for Millwall is letting Somerville cut in and have the shot.
Well, you're right about the short corners, aren't you?
Yeah, or are they gun short? There's no one coming short for this one.
That one came short and nearly scored from it.
And I think that's my point. Unless they're looking for a second phase, Ben, because Millwall obviously aren't pushing men.
Oh, there's forward. A good delivery. Rodon, edge of the box. Cooper. I'm not having that one, sorry. Although Rodon actually looks hurt. Or is he just trying to stop the counter-attack here?
I think.
Honeyman. Oh, good chest. Tries to play it onto Obafemi.
There's an opportunity here for Millwall.
Fleming tries to pop the cross, and that's going to be a corner. Rodon is down the other end. And Rodon either is hurt or is not, and we'll find out now.
Yeah.
To be fair to Rodon, he gets a knee in the chin, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he does hold the front of his face and then the back of his head.
I'm not seeing anything there to justify the flailing arm that came after it.
He's just trying to stop the counter, isn't he? But let's be honest, we all do it, don't we?
I think Cooper's doing his absolute best to get out of the way of that as well if he can, but he's committed. Fair play to Millwall for continuing, and it's a little bit clumsy, isn't it? But I don't think there's enough there to give the pen.
All I would say is and I'm just saying it as a conversation piece.
There's a handball there.
Would that be a foul on the halfway line? It would be a 50-50, wouldn't it? So I can understand the penalty shout there. Let me just quickly say, while you guys debate that in the chat, look up here at my beautiful display of Beer 52. You can get yourself one of those lovely boxes with 8 craft beers from around the world and some bar snacks. And Richard, your lovely copy of Ferment magazine, which feels beautifully partridge as well. But don't you worry about that. Some lovely stuff. Richard got a box himself and has sampled the delights of Beer 52. And if I actually put the ticker up, it'll have the address on there for you. It's beer52.com/ Graham Mack taught me that, Rich, / Bloom. And you can get yourself a free case. Rich, you do have to pay for the postage. It's £5.90 for the postage, but you can get the box of 8 beers from around the world, the bar snacks, the magazine. And if you want to get that for free, you just have to cover the postage of £5.90. www.beer5252. Don't think this game's going to end in 5-2. / Bloom. Let's have another look at this.
I'm just trying to see what happened to justify him staying down so long.
Rich, forget where he's holding as you go down. Is it a foul or not? Because I do think if that was on the halfway line, you'd be saying, that looked a bit like a foul to me. Do you know what I mean? So I get, he's got a black eye. Sorry, Joe Rodon. Yeah, he definitely got a boot there. I was wondering whether he was hurt or trying to stop the counter-attack, but I owe him an apology there. He's got a massive black eye, poor fella. So hopefully Rodon is okay. And was that a penalty? It's definitely a 50-50, if not a 60-40.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to call. I think, wow, that is not nice, is it? I was trying to find in that replay, and I think they cut away because he got up. I was trying to figure out where the contact is, because I don't think the knee coming up was the contact. I think there was a little bit of uncomfortableness afterwards, Ben, but I might be wrong. As Millwall waste a corner. That's a shame.
I think it's one of those ones, Rich, where people don't like this conclusion because they want you to be completely binary and say, definitely a penalty, definitely not. It's complete borderline. That if he gives it, you can say, okay, it's clumsy. He doesn't really get the ball. He takes the man, fine. If he doesn't give it, you can say, oh, it's clumsy, but is it really that big a contact? Blah, blah, blah. So that one to me is a complete subjective 50-50 that I'm not even 60-40 in that one. So, I'd go either way. And I dare say when we get into the tribal side of it and you've got people with a vested interest in it being one way or the other, you know which way they're going to go. But I've got no problems with basically whatever the ref gives in that decision. I know people don't like that. Obafemi into the box has fouled Rodon, who's
getting some contact, isn't he, at the moment? Yeah, I your assessment, Ben, I totally agree with it. And for that reason, I can see why the ref hasn't given it. When we were looking at it, and we've got the benefit of about five replays and angles,
super slow as well, Rich.
In real time, I think the referee is looking at the knee coming up rather than what follows it, which I think is quite uncomfortable and awkward contact. I think there's also a little bit of a handball shout in there as well. I think Cooper's arm comes up and brushes the ball. All kinds of nonsense going on there. And wow, the referee's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, as you say. I would rather him err on the side of caution than just give a penalty because there's contact in the area. That's a dangerous.
All I'll say, Rich, is Rodon chasing back now. Obafemi trying to make him play it. Rodon's done well with his black eye. All I would say, Rich, is if he gave that penalty and then I saw the slow-mo, I'm not going to be sitting here outraged going, that's a terrible, terrible decision. Do you know what I mean? So
I guess if I'm a Millwall fan, I'm thinking that's a home penalty. If it was Millwall up the other end, would they have got that at Ellen Road? That would be in the back of my mind as well, though.
You would hope that referees wouldn't be affected by that massive big stand at Leeds and all the noise coming out of it, but they're only human, aren't they? By the way, we are into 5 minutes of minimum stoppage time, mainly, I guess, for that treatment there with Rodon. And they didn't do the concussion protocol, but he was down for a little while. Lewis, streaming Pompey Derby, Easter Monday Sky. Is that the day where there's about
It's be Southampton,
50
Ipswich, won't it, mate?
games on at once.
You'll be watching Ipswich v Southampton, won't you, on Easter Monday?
I don't know whether I'm going to go or whether I'm going to do a whole load of watch-alongs through the day, Rich. I need to make that decision. So we'll figure that out. Honestly, I know people give me stick for it, Rich, but it's a joy to do these watch-alongs and interact with so many people. And sometimes walking to your garage to cover the game rather than doing a 3-hour round trip down to Ipswich. Obviously, I love being at the games, with my daughter and petrol costs and all of that. But look,
you don't want to be traveling.
We'll make a decision, Richard.
You don't want to travel on an Easter Monday anyway, do you? And
not down the A14, no.
I think we'll be chatting and maybe doing Blackburn Ipswich on the Friday as well. So that'll be good fun.
I won't be heading up to Blackburn for it.
No. It's the only one I haven't done actually. I was checking my 92 as I tend to do because I'm a nerd. And the only one I've not done is Blackburn. Now, I tipped off Plymouth a couple of weeks ago, not done Blackburn.
I went to Blackburn once, Rich, and I saw Ipswich play, and Blackburn took the lead after, I swear, like 10 seconds. It's one of the earliest goals I've ever seen. Somerville, Lee Carsley, the England under-21 guy, scored it. Someone fact-check me that in the comments.
Was it the 2-2?
Yeah, Tony Mowbray scored a 30-yarder in stoppage time.
That's a great goal.
Yeah.
I think while we've been chatting, another off the ball kind of situation with Cooper, I think he is going to do really well to stay on the pitch, if I'm honest, Ben. I think I'd be a bit worried if I were him. Yeah. I think Leeds are just going to target him now, aren't they? And, moment here.
Sarkic comes out and grabs it. Yeah, they don't really need to target him, Rich, do they? He's on a yellow card. They play this intricate football. If they just play their natural game,
he's going to have to defend, isn't he?
Yeah, they'll be bother anyway. It is half time, ladies and gentlemen. It is fiery. Let's just say Millwall have taken a reasonably similar approach that Huddersfield did. And I get it. Honestly, I get it. As long as people don't cross the line, what are you going to do against a team like Leeds? Just, try and out-football them and, lose 3-0 or whatever. I think it's fairly patently obvious now that they're a brilliant team and they've got better players than most everybody else in the Championship. So I get the need, as long as it doesn't cross the line. And we don't like to see players getting black eyes, obviously. So I get making it physical, and then the ref just has a job to do to make sure it doesn't cross the line. I thought Millwall were playing it reasonably well, and Leeds needed to rely on a bit of quality, but, that's the game. And Nonto slams in a brilliant goal on, what time did that goal go in? 33 minutes. Honestly, real 50-50. Leeds could add a penalty, couldn't they, towards the end of the half. Let me give you the numbers, Rich, and you can give me your assessment. 75-25 on the possession. Where is all that Millwall XG coming from? Cooper once, and I can't click on the other one because it's
a few free kicks, weren't there? Close in, but headed way over. I think
it's 2 first contacts from Cooper in the book. So
free kicks, Ben. I think headed over.
Phony stat, isn't it? If there is such a thing. 9 shots to 3 in Leeds' favour, 2-1 on target. And before you come in, Rich, I'll just show you the really important thing is the Championship table, and there you'll see Leeds have overtaken Ipswich. By the way, we've glossed over this. I haven't said this all game. It would be 12th win in 13 for Leeds, which is absurdly good to the point that it's comical. And we know if Leeds can force another goal, they will go to the top of the EFL Championship. Richard, your thoughts on the first half? Get yours in the comments and we'll read some of these out. If you want to do some questions, get them in too.
Yeah, I think Millwall have done all right, haven't they? As much as you'd expect. In terms of the quality of the squads, I totally agree with you that Millwall are going to have, the strategy that Millwall have to deploy is not a football versus a football strategy, isn't it? It's going to be breaking, it's going to be blocking, and trying to win set pieces high up the pitch. And to be fair, it was working for a good chunk of time, but there's only so long you can last out before someone like Somerville, Reuter or Nonto gets on the ball. But it's taken a real moment of quality, Ben, to put Leeds in front. And I guess if I'm Millwall, I guess that gives me some level of comfort that they haven't got in behind so much and created chances that Sarkic has had to save. Obviously, another shot. Was it Reuter or Somerville? It was Somerville, wasn't it? Cut in and had the shot across the keeper that he palmed
great
across
save,
the post.
yeah.
But they are chances, Ben, from edge of the area, aren't they? And I mentioned Bamford. He's started to drop in and get involved in some of the passages of play. But in terms of finding him, apart from the effort where possession breaks down on halfway and he ran in and it didn't really kind of work out, I just don't see how Leeds are creating the high quality chances. They are relying on, their best players. And frankly, we've seen Leicester, Southampton and Ipswich have moments where they've struggled against teams in the Championship and needed someone to ping one in from range. So you can't begrudge Leeds that. But if I'm Millwall, I think probably the biggest issue is just the ball isn't sticking up front. And when they do have those set pieces, Ben, Meslier hasn't had anything to do. We talked about Sarkic not having much to do, but Meslier, I think, has maybe touched the ball 5 times with his boot, and that's about it. So Fleming had a shot, didn't he? But I think this is going the way of definitely of Leeds at the moment, the home team, the high quality. I think unless Millwall will have a strategy to try and create more chances, I suspect it will be 1 or 2 more for Leeds in the second half, which frankly as an Ipswich fan is what I want. I'd rather they go top than they go second, if that feels, I don't know why, but psychologically it feels better that they
damage Leicester rather than
nudge Leeds out of the way they nudge Leicester out of the way as well as just us. But yeah, at the moment fine from Leeds, but you wonder whether they've got another gear they could go up to, and maybe they are just keeping Millwall at arm's length. But it's interesting, and the fightiness gives it a little bit of drama, because otherwise without that, Ben, it might have been a bit dour, mightn't it?
Yeah. It's one of those where you would make Leeds favourite to score the next goal unless it gets to like minute 80, at which point you say, oh, it's only 1-0, and can Millwall then stick a set piece in there and cause some chaos? And that, I suppose that'll be Millwall's hope. Can they hang in the game and, try and get something, try and get a draw? Clive, do you think Cooper on Rodon was a penalty? I mean, we discussed it at length at the time. I honestly, and people hate this answer, but you need to wake up to this, football fans, that it is subjective. I wouldn't have had a problem either decision there. I didn't mind it not being a penalty. And if he had given a penalty, I think it's complete borderline, wasn't it? I think you can run the argument, as I said at the time, that, would I have been surprised if it had been a foul on halfway and there wasn't a free shot from goal from 12 yards being given up? No, I wouldn't have been surprised. So maybe that answers my question. If it's a foul on halfway, it's probably a foul in the box as well. But it was a bit 50-50, 60-40. And that's not a fudge of an answer. I think more football fans need to kind of understand that these things are subjective. And we're just watching this Jake Cooper trying to get Willie Nonto wound up, and I wonder how much Jake Cooper weighs in comparison to Willie Nonto. He's about a foot taller than him, isn't it? Liam, hey Ben, would you say Bristol City are in transition again? Fans are not happy with the style of play. A little bit. You can't be in transition forever, though, can you? So, but let him have the summer. I think. In terms of Liam Manning, and I don't want to. It's a good club, Bristol City, but the fans don't want to get that reputation as being a bit moany. I think they're only ever a good manager and a good summer away from. Are you looking at that angle from behind the goal? It looks like a penalty from behind the goal.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Rodon, if I'm honest.
How did he get a black eye?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because he didn't get a knee in the face. But in terms of Liam Manning, Ben, probably a little bit of blue tinted spectacles here. I like how he goes about things, but I think the issue, and it's Millwall have had to rectify the same issue by sacking a manager and bringing in an old favourite who's gone back to basics, is this team in transition, which they absolutely are. To do it mid-season is a really tall ask. There are fundamentals that are established over the course of a few months, a pre-season, and Nigel Pearson is not the same as Liam Manning, and therefore I think if the owners of Bristol City and the fans of Bristol City maybe want a more progressive style of play, that doesn't happen overnight. Even Ipswich under McKenna's kind of put up as the poster boy for the young managerial kind of recruitment. McKenna made Ipswich tough to beat in the first half of the season. We won a lot of games 1-0, but his first job was to make us more solid rather than actually start passing it around, because we had the players to do that. So even a McKenna that has had to evolve the team over the course of a few months, and Manning hasn't had enough time to be judged in my opinion. But again, ex-Ipswich, isn't he? So maybe blue tinted specs.
Yeah, right. Glenn, I think in pure intention terms, Leeds and Ipswich should go up. I think a lot of people watching this stream would agree with that, knowing my fan base. But no, we've got to show some respect for. I know what he's saying in terms of the attacking stuff, and that Leicester have been more methodical and won a lot of games by a single goal. To be fair, Ipswich won a lot of games by a single goal as well. A lot of
just happened to have conceded 2 in the process, Ben, to win 3-2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
A single goal wins, but yeah.
Well, Ipswich have now scored 80 goals, which is mental, isn't it? When you consider everyone marvels at Leeds' front four, but in terms of actually making chances, the 11 on the pitch, and I do mean the 11 with the keeper, but you've got to show respect to Leicester winning 10 on the trot going to October as well, Rich. I mean, I'm not saying Glenn is being disrespectful, but do you know what I mean?
Glenn is very welcome to his preference, and it's one that I happen to wholeheartedly endorse. But each of the 4 teams have gone about it in slightly different ways, haven't they? And actually, as much as it's a freak league in terms of the quality of the top 4, it's been really different, the approaches they've all taken, which I think has made it really refreshing. And obviously, as an Ipswich fan, being part of that has been amazing. Just before we forget, Ben, we talked about Ipswich. You let me talk about Ipswich at the start. Just very quickly on Sheffield Wednesday, and as that pertains to Millwall, I thought Sheffield Wednesday looked really shell-shocked yesterday after that one. They were actually in the game for the first kind of 15-20 minutes, but if I was a Sheffield Wednesday fan going after that, it's no shame to lose to Ipswich away, but to lose in that manner. And I think what it meant for, there's a lot of substitutions and a change of system. He'd obviously got battered at Huddersfield and changed to this kind of 5-4-1 system. Half-time changed the system again. And that would be a slight worry if I'm a Wednesday fan, having looked so good and started to maybe give yourselves the opportunity. If I'm down there, a Plymouth fan or a Stoke fan or a Blackburn fan, Birmingham fan, maybe that yesterday gives me a little bit of hope.
Korg Vinter. How is Cooper still on the pitch? I don't necessarily. I do think Cooper maybe got away with one on the penalty call. I think the ref saw through his Hausery for the thing on Nonto, and he was kind of rightfully booked for that, for clearly trying to lay on top of him and provoke him and then pull him down. I think you'll find, Rich, with a lot of these players, people run this argument, Rich, to me, oh, blah-de-blah, he should have been sent off because of this tackle and this tackle. And I say to him, you realise, had he been on a yellow at the point when he wouldn't have made that tackle, because these players they're clever. I remember Robbie Savage talking about it when he used to host 606. He said he was on a yellow card 100 times. He never got red carded because he played differently. And I suspect you'll see Cooper, maybe the staff there will have told him, look, Jake, they're waiting for you. Now you're going to get red carded on your next tackle. So would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. And let's be honest, Leeds are now going to target him, and they're also going to make a mountain out of a molehill every time he does something. We talked about the kind of one where he was reaching behind his back to try and find, was it Reuter, I think, and slaps him. And, I think that's the trouble. If you want to find reasons to book Cooper, I think you're going to find them. But whether those are legitimate, reasonable circumstances or just a bit amplified because of what your perspective is, I've not seen anything that merits a red card yet. But I do think he's running the tightrope now, isn't he?
Glenn, which team of the 4 do you think will be in most... Right. Why have you stitched me out with that one? Psychological fragility if they end up in the playoffs? That's a great question. Look, nobody likes the playoffs. Nobody goes, unless I think it's Burnley who've literally won every playoff game they've ever beaten in the Championship. Leeds fans, I know, are terrified of them. I know they just assume, that they're going to lose, but a real good quality team. Southampton and Russ Martin. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just one of those Leicester players who's a high caliber player. I don't think I'm going to be scared of a playoff semi-final, am I? So I don't know. I really don't know. I think there's a lot of myths about the playoffs and players being terrified of them, but it's just very fast, very brutal tournament football, isn't it? So
yeah. But you've basically gone from a 46 game playoff to a 2-match or a 3-match playoff, haven't you? I don't think the top 4 teams have set such a ferocious pace and been in form for most of the season. I really don't think that a few bonus games will really trouble them too much. There's some narrative in there for Ipswich, depending on who finishes 6th, maybe. But I just think these are teams that are playing really well at the moment.
Hey, Rich, can I just throw in, when you boil it down to tournament football, I almost like West Brom and Corberon and Coventry and Robbins, maybe even Norwich and Wagner, because they would properly embrace the tournament side of it and do whatever it took. Whereas Farker, Maresca, McKenna, and Martin are all process, trust the process, blah, blah, blah. Whereas, do you know what I mean? You could see Corberon, for example, be able to beat McKenna. You could see it in the, in a 2-game tournament game, couldn't you? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Russ Martin's got a few, what's the word I'm looking for? Not ghosts in the cupboard or skeletons in the closet in terms of MK Dons, didn't he? Got schooled by Gareth Ainsworth and Wickham, didn't he, a few seasons ago? And that, I guess, if I'm a Southampton fan, I'd be a little bit nervous of that, because I think Southampton have a way of playing. If they go up against the West Brom, for example, 0-0 at home, and then you go back to the Hawthorns or whatever, you'd fancy West Brom then, wouldn't you? And I think that's the trouble. You're right. I think sometimes you need to be a bit in your face, which I think favours Leeds to an extent, maybe out of the 4. I just think in terms of the question, psychologically, Leicester, having been top of the league for 90% of the season so far, or 100% of the season so far, but potentially at that point, 90% of it, to then be in the playoffs, I wonder whether psychologically they'd be the most disappointed, wouldn't they? Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah, but if that's a thing, for
that's the
players
only
of that
thing I can
players
think
of that quality. But yeah, we will see. Right. Thank you, Rich, for the halftime Q&A. The Leeds players are just running out of the tunnel, ready for the second half. Quick little match bingo update here. I mean, I'm not doing too great, to be honest. One line has gone. Matt, Frank, Bob has won the first line over on Match Bingo. Go and get involved at Match Bingo. Why not have a go, Rich, at the Bingol's game, which is free. You can play that next Saturday with the League One and League Two fixtures, even in the international break. But what you need to do if you're watching on YouTube, there, blocking my face and Richard's face, is the QR code. Click on that and they'll let you know we've sent you, and they'll let you know that partnering up with my channel was worth the time in the first place, because people are going to click through to their wonderful app, which you should of course please play responsibly. I tried to link the two things there, and we are off and running. Shut up, Ben. We are off and running in the second half. Right, let me just quickly reset this and then we'll get back into the action. Here are your teams. Real quick, as Archie Gray's got it right back. For Leeds, you know what their team is every game by now, don't you? Meslier, Gray, Roden, Ampadu, Firpo, Grueff, Kamara, Nonto, Rute, Somerville, Bamford. For Millwall, 4-4, F2, Sarkic, Brian Cooper, Tanganga, Leonard, Honeyman, Saville, Mitchell, Norton, Cuffy, Oberfemi, and Fleming up top. And here comes Archie Gray down the right, beats Honeyman. Kamara edging.
Kamara looked like he wanted to shoot, man.
Nah, he was past it. Definitely a disguised shot. And
I was going to say disguised pass, yeah.
Little disguised pass, you know what I mean? Slid a little one through. Here's Somerville. We liked Somerville and Firpo's combination play in the first half. Somerville. Kamara, nice ball. Ruter. A Leeds throw.
I think it
And
should be a booking if you appeal for a throw in that you've blatantly kicked out of play.
there's a reason why I always say never trust a footballer, a manager, or a fan in a stadium appealing for a throw-in. They're all liars for at least half of
But
the decisions.
there's lying and there's like lying. Like that was just I've just kicked the ball out of play. Oh, I'm gonna stick my arm up. That winds me up.
Rodon. Oh, Ruter, nicely received.
Really
And
good
that,
turn, wasn't there, on the ball? That
a bit of a industrial tackle by Saville. Was it Saville? There's someone down holding their face. Yeah, Saville. I don't know why he's holding his face.
no, this is Joe Rodon part 2, isn't it?
You just get the boot in the face there afterwards. No black eye here, but we do have a free kick to Leeds. I'm always wrong about these things, but if that was a distraction tactic to distract from the foul he just committed, it worked on me anyway.
Yeah.
47:38 on the clock. We're watching on Sky Sports. Can't read that because there's sunshine there. Sky Sports main event HD. Free kick goes wide. Gray to Nonto. Leeds patient as they can be. They have a 1-0 lead.
They've heard me about going short from the set pieces. No point pumping into the box, especially when they're leading, Ben. You know, there's no need to go looking for the jeopardy, but I just keep the ball if I'm Leeds and just grind Millwall down.
Yeah, Leeds should be able to control this, really, shouldn't they? They've got the lead. They've got the home advantage. They've got the quality advantage. If they can, I know it's easier said than done, and football doesn't work like that. That's why we all love it, but should be able to control this and manipulate this into the 2-goal win that they need, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I just think Millwall under Harris are not going to be the team who are just going to stroke the ball around the back four and try and build a little bit of possession and momentum, isn't it? They're going to have to go direct. And sadly for them, it's not really sticking with Obafemi, and they're not really getting Fleming in the game either, Ben, aren't they? No. And I guess that's the issue. I'm kind of looking at the bench as well, and you think, what more maybe? SA maybe, I don't know, but there's not a huge amount they can call upon.
No. Lovely ball through the lines there. Here's Ruter. Nice receipt as ever. Ruter pokes it forward for Bamford. Tanganga gets in and clears. Gray knocks that one back in. Keep those comments coming. There you go. He's done my bidding for me there. Hit the like button, ladies and gents. We really, really appreciate all of that. Do support Richard, who's joining me today. He's at Ipsrich on Twitter. And I've got the night. He's given me the night off tonight, which, given I got in at 2 a.m., is pretty good news, actually. I'm going to read my book and go to bed early, which is complete rock and roll. But Blue Monday podcast tonight, if you're of that way inclined, of that persuasion, as I mix my metaphors again. Firpo, Kamara, Somerville. Looked like didn't look like a foul to me. Yeah. We'll see if he went through the side of him. Possibly that he did, but
could have pulled the trigger a bit early then, Ben. But
no, I think the ref's right, actually. I think he fouls him, the player goes down, and then
he's hooking in, isn't he?
Then he takes. Yeah, no, it's fair comment. Yes, foul, isn't it? My bad. I needed a replay.
We're a few hundred miles away from it, Ben, and he's got a much better view than we have.
Got a better view than most people in the stadium with these 800 replays we get. Free kick to Leeds. Bamford the footer. Somerville the right footer.
Straight in the postage stamp.
Going to take it, Rich.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident this is going in. I guess the cliche is it's a bit close in, but I think you can just, top right.
Yeah, good chances, isn't it? I bet Bamford's going to walk away and Somerville's going to take it.
I'd be sticking someone on the post, but I don't think it'll make a difference.
Somerville's putting it down very deliberately. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Millwall wall with one about a metre either side. So they come closer together. It's more like a 6-man wall with some gaps. Although both of those players have moved now. Does Somerville fancy going over? Oh, it's a dreadful free kick. He floats it straight into the arms of Sarkic. And a wasted moment there, Richard.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, he goes straight down the middle. I don't know whether he changed his mind and maybe thought, well, I'll go for the left-hand side rather than the right. But to me, the right-hand side was so open up for the chance there. Was it who was in the wall? Was it was it Reuter in the wall trying to put them as
Just
well?
to the side, yeah.
I think it's just one not to necessarily put too much curl on. Just it's a side foot shot to me, but yeah, made it overcomplicated.
Cleared by Sarkic. It's fallen for Mitchell. Tanganga heads it home. And Ryan Leonard gets robbed by Somerville. Never trust a footballer appealing for a throw in.
And he's won. Has he won it? Has he got the throw in? No.
Neil Harris is either about to bring someone on or sending someone to warm up to then bring them on.
Or he's having a chat with the folks behind the dugouts.
Jake Cooper hoiks that clear. And Millwall can't get out. They're just camped in.
Oh, that's a foul.
Half. Somerville taken down this time. Leeds well on top since half time. Yellow cards coming up for Leonard, Rich.
Yeah, that was a clear one. And I think that partly that's frustration, isn't it? The ball just isn't sticking with Millwall and Leeds are getting in whenever they want. That's pretty clumsy, isn't it? He's got to do something, I guess, because Somerville's in there, but just a bit desperate from Millwall at the moment. It's a shame, really, from kind of a neutral perspective or wanting a bit of a spectacle. I don't know. I'm not sure what they can do. It feels like it's inevitable, isn't it? I was speaking to another Leeds fan the other day, and we were kind of, one word to describe the season. He kind of said predictable, and I said, like, well, it's inevitable, like blooming Thanos in Avengers.
Yeah.
This second goal feels inevitable. It could happen right now, couldn't it?
Somerville with the free kick, right-footed, swung in, easy one for...
Set pieces have been poor, Ben.
I'm going to quote a Leeds fan who said this to me the other day. He said, Ben, Somerville's been a little bit off the boil. Okay, admittedly, absurdly high standards for the first 4 months of the season, but been a little bit off the boil. The Sky cameras go straight to Dan James after he puts that free kick straight into... Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. McAllister with the equaliser at Old Trafford. Saville, Honeyman, someone knows they're about to be substituted on the Millwall team. They've all started running around now. Cooper, Brian, over Fahmy. Brian, very nice. That's a foul by Nonto on Brian. It's going to be a free kick.
It's not.
No, it's not. Oh, he's not giving it.
I thought he bundled him over there.
Yeah, interesting. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I don't think he ever gets his body in front of the ball for me. And he also thinks he's giving away the goal
up for a foul, isn't he? Yeah.
But he's also thought he conceded the corner, and the referee's given a goal kick. I thought Steve Martin's ref this pretty. I'm trying to come up with further of the bridal only murders in the building puns, but I can't do it. But I think he's generally done okay, but I think he's got that.
When I was a kid, for years I thought that Steve Martin and Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun and Airplane were the same person, but yeah,
this shows my levels of maturity. My YouTube homepage recommended me a compilation of Leslie Nielsen attending interviews with a fart box, and him just letting off noises at the wrong moment, crossing his legs or whatever, and pretending to the interview, I'd quite like to do some kind of some serious dramatic roles, and then lets one go.
Liverpool 2-1. Salah. The boys got a chance, I reckon. Firpo. Ampadu.
That's the FA Cup as well, isn't it, by the way? So no FPL relief for that. What a farce that is this week.
Ampadu. Somerville. Nice little clip to the opposite side, looking for Nonto.
Yeah. And that just sums up Millwall, isn't it? It's a hopeful punt to halfway. He doesn't go anywhere near anyone.
Well, fair play to Leeds, because look, this press is nice, isn't it? They've got their kind of foot on the throat. They just need to make the kill and get the second goal, don't they? They've been pretty dominant in the second half, and Neil Harris does.
That's a foul. Yeah.
I don't know what he has up his sleeve on the bench, but he does need to make some kind of
Here we go.
Some kind of change. Casper De Noor, Duncan Watmore. Who's the other lad as well? There's going to be 3 subs. Danny McNamara. Oh, the 4th. We're getting a quadruple sub here for Neil Harris. You're just going for the chaos theory. He's just going to throw a grenade in here and do 4 subs at once.
Is it Longman?
Quite probably, yeah. He's trying to get some width on. De Noor's obviously his ball player in central midfield. Speaking of which, Melier is up playing quarterback. Somerville, Ampadu, Gruif. Must be fun to play centre midfield for Leeds, mustn't it, in this team? Just get it, give it, get it, give it. Don't have to do much tackling. Don't have to run around too much because you've got the ball the whole game. Lovely old job, isn't it?
Yeah, draw kind of a square.
And if you can't hear the sarcasm in my voice there, obviously they're very talented boys, Kamara and Gruif, but they make it look easy, don't they?
Do you remember that video of Jonathan Douglas at Newcastle away for Ipswich? It's kind of like that, but it should be like that.
But good, yeah. Nice clip by Gruif. Nonto vs Brian. Does he win the throw in there? Yeah. Willie Nonto.
A little bit of a shove, probably just about fair enough, isn't it?
Fair play to Nonto because he's about 4'11", isn't he? And he still puts him. He doesn't let people bully him, does he? Which I'm a fan of.
Oh, he's just just pushing his man out the way. Oh, and handbags. Here we go.
Oh, that's going to be a very cheap corner conceded by Honeyman, I think. 58 on the clock, and this seems to be, unless Neil Harris can get the 4 subs on and they can do something to affect this, so it seems like we're heading towards Leeds getting that second vital goal. They've been really dominant, Rich, for the first 13 minutes of the second half. Corner going to come from Somerville. Or are we going to get the subs? Never make a sub when you're defending a set play, they say.
That's the cliche. Again, going short.
Somerville.
Like I told them to.
Somerville puts the cross in.
That's a decent cross, that, isn't it?
Fleming. Ooh. Nonto got caught there by Honeyman.
Not happy, is he? I think those two were shoving each other before, weren't they, as well? So
how many yellow cards have Millwall had now? Must be like 4 or 5.
5,
isn't it?
Aren't they? So this is number 4, I think. Fleming's got one, Cooper's got one, Leonard's got one.
And Honeyman's now I think Honeyman's about to get subbed as well, but I don't think he just body checks him. I think he gives him a whack here.
Yeah, there's a hand in the face. Yeah. Nonto makes the most of it, but it's fair enough, isn't it?
It's not a good tackle, is it?
They're all on 8, aren't they, Millwall? All of them get 8 or 9. I guess they were over.
Want Easter off, but they're going to be too late, aren't they?
Yeah, it was last weekend, wasn't it? It was the cut-off, so...
free kick then to Leeds. Rodon, Ampadu, Bamford, Ruter, Firpo all in there, and it comes right-footed. Rodon wins it. Excuse me.
And everyone appeals for it.
Corner?
Yeah, I think it is. That's a proper black eye, isn't it? I'm still confused how that happened.
Man United 1, Liverpool 2 in the cup. West Ham 1, Villa 1 in the Premier League is a full time. In comes the corner. That came off a Millwall head. It's going to be another corner, isn't it? Leeds just completely, the entire game has been played down that end of the pitch this half. It's been really dominant from Leeds in terms of territory, Rich, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to recall from yesterday whether I kind of feel like Leeds are even more dominant than we were, but we're 4-0, 5-0 up at this point, and they're still only at 1-0. I guess you have to give credit for Millwall for that, but it does feel a matter of time until Leeds get the second.
Somerville's going to take the corner right-footed. We've got a Danny Cowley love train set up in the middle. That's a good corner, actually. Unlucky. Bamford on the near post. They all lined up. Bamford made the near post run. He puts it in waist height, Somerville. It's best corner they're putting all day, actually. And,
yeah.
Bamford sticks that in. So we think Longman, De Noor, Watmore, and McNamara are all going to come in at once. So a central midfielder, probably one up top, a wide man and a fullback all coming in. As predicted, Honeyman, fresh from his yellow card, is coming out. Do you know what, Rich? I'm just going to wait for Sky to bring the box up there.
Let's hope they'd help us out.
These 8 players, right?
Yeah, so Billy Mitchell's coming off.
Yeah, that'll be for Denor, which is an attacking substitution when you consider you're taking a holding midfielder out for a more creative one.
I mean, as much as we've been praising Leeds, it is still only 1-0. And
they can get a set play, can't they?
Yeah.
Oh, Norton Cuffy's come out. That's surprises me.
Maybe because I didn't feel like I knew where he was on the pitch. Not sure what position he was playing. I don't know.
Sarkic
sliced that a little bit, didn't he? No.
Smashes the ball forward. Helped on to Fleming. Fleming puts that into Obafemi. Kamara.
There's a moment there where that drops for a Millwall player, but it's just not bouncing right for them at the moment. And yeah, it's all a bit speculative.
Nosebleed territory, aren't they? Just not been in the
It was a real shame. There was a moment there, Ben, when you kind of thought it's going to drop for Obafemi, but it just bounced up and he couldn't trap it.
Over on match bingo, I'm just going nowhere fast on my bingo card. 2 lines hasn't gone yet. It's only the 25 quid first line has gone over on matchbingo.com. The struggle is real. Somerville. He's got in a good position here. He's into the box, actually. Somerville tries to go in between Denor and Tanganga.
That's neat.
Saville comes striding away with it.
Keep going.
Obafemi, lovely ball out to Longman. Longman crosses right-footed, just over the head of Watmore, who went near post. And, I mean, as you say, Rich, it's difficult, isn't it? Because Leeds have given them so few opportunities. But if you're a Millwall fan, you're thinking, right, get the cross right when you do get in the position, right?
That wasn't a too bad a move, was it? Was it Saville who took the ball out of defence as well? He stood up well and blocked, didn't he? And took it forward. And you kind of thought, yeah, the option to attack down that right hand side was there, but as you say, final ball just not good enough. And the trouble is, even if you get the ball wrong, sometimes there's the left winger is running on and can pick up the loose ball, but because Millwall can't commit that many forwards, it goes straight out for a throw in, and then the ball goes back to Leeds. It's frustrating.
64 on the clock. Leeds are, as things stand, going back into the automatic positions. But the real big prize for Leeds, if they can get another goal today. Yes, it is that time of the season where we track these things. They will go top of the table. Obviously, our context is we're on Sunday. So this is the last game everybody's played who's going to play this round. Here's Longman. Longman comes inside. Longman hits a shot left-footed.
Why not? Subs have energized Millwall, haven't they?
You're going to get some kind of impact, either positive or negative, by changing nearly 40% of your outfield players in one hit. They just got to ride it out, Rich, and turn it into something tangible. Here comes Dan James. Wonder if that'll be for Somerville, as we suggested.
You kind of think that, like, if you're Millwall, like, we've got it to 1-0, and we've just had a couple of moments where we've kind of actually taken the game to Leeds, and then they bring on Dan James.
Yeah, Pirro will be coming at some point. So Somerville, Firpo onside. Firpo, lovely cross. Oh, good save. Should have been. Oh, how has that stayed out? Sarkic made the first save. It bounced out to Ruter on the angle. Ruter put the shot in, and Sarkic then put it onto his own post. Leeds,
that was a great save.
The first one was a really good save. He just had to get something on the second one, didn't he? But the chance for Ruter there was a real giant. You talk about the chance quality, Rich. He's 8 yards out, middle of the goal there, wasn't he?
I haven't had a replay yet, but I guess my lazy assessment would be that you've got to do better than hit the keeper from that range. But what a great move down the left hand side. Firpo
That's a foul, isn't it, on this? No, Tanganga is not whistled for that one. Denor goes home to a Sarkic.
It's turned into a little bit of a basketball game, which is good, bit of end to end, having been a little bit one-way traffic for the first 15.
Here's Fleming. Shot is deflected from, was it Brian coming forward from left back? It's going to be a corner to Millwall, who, they have been energised. Right, here's that chance. Oh, he's right in the middle of the goal, Ruta. Yeah, he should really score from that. What happens on the second? I'm sure Sarkic, it's not going in the goals. He put it against his own post. Very lucky not to score an own
he's
goal.
Got lucky there, hasn't he?
Sarkic, Ruta should have scored the first one.
He's got the whole goal to aim at, hasn't he? He doesn't get his head up for me, Ben. I think he's looking. He's maybe doesn't want to give away where he was going to put the ball, but yeah, he should have got his head up and put it in the corner. But I can say that.
Corner to me. Well, this is the thing, though. We think Ruta is a brilliant player. If he was clinical as well, he'd be a real super top level player, wouldn't he? Corner comes in for Millwall. Oh, Cooper was there at the back post. Tanganga knocks it back. Shot driven in, decent save, and Cooper puts it around the post. This is the point we've been making, that while it stays at 1-0, this is the closest Millwall have come. Shot was driven in by Denor. It's a good block by Rodock. Cooper, if that's on target, any scuffy, muggy finish is going in that far corner, isn't it?
And just as we were talking about Ruta not converting from the other end, how often do you see it? Team on top doesn't take their chances. And interesting that Nonto's gone off, but he's put in a shift, hasn't he?
Nonto out, and Nonto could be the match winner. A superb goal, wasn't it, in the first half? Whack!
Yeah, I love that.
In it goes. James to have a goal contribution within 5 minutes of coming on. That seems to have been the case. Most of his sub appearances. Dan James in for Willie Nonto. I guess Rich is just going to go and play down the right-hand side where Nonto was.
But fair play, Millwall are getting further up the pitch. Both the forwards, Obafemi and Fleming, were pressing Meslier there from the goal kick, which they haven't done for the whole game. You suddenly got a little bit more confident. Maybe we still got 22 minutes to go. You wonder whether Harris is maybe playing this in the kind of the splitting up into the games. And the fact they've kept it to 1-0 means actually there's nothing too bad in it for them if they actually push a little bit and go for it. Maybe he's rope-a-dope men.
Rich, looking at the goal difference. Oh, lovely feed through by Somerville. Looking at the goal difference, all the bottom three have got a sort of 6 goals worse. So it doesn't matter if Millwall lose 3-0 rather than 1-0 trying to get the point, does it?
But I guess the point that I'm trying to make, which is I've probably made it really badly, is you don't go for leads at 20 minutes or 30 minutes. You kind of keep the game as tight. Like
Ipswich did in both of the games.
Yeah, you don't go for it for a minute nor. You kind of keep it as tight as you can, and it's got to 65 minutes, hasn't it? This is, I think, there was a definite foul there, but I think he's hurt himself in the process, or has been hurt.
There's Somerville and McNamara. To be fair, Somerville tries to get out of the way, doesn't he? They bash knees, maybe.
Yeah. Have you got any embrace puns for Danny McNamara, by the way? There's Dan Ayling.
3 is the magic number. It's the only embrace song I know. Hey, Luke Ayling, the long-time Leeds right back, is there watching the team. McNamara is just getting treatment. Guys, thank you so much for all the support today. If you do not mind hitting the thumbs up button, that helps us big star. We've done plenty of match bingo plugs as well. Remember, you can also support with the Beer 52 link, www.beer52.com. It's beer5252.com/bloom. You can get a free case of 8 craft beers, some bar snacks and a magazine for £5.95. You have to cover the postage. That is all free if you can cover the postage. What else did I have to plug? I had one more thing to plug, and I can't remember what the hell it was. So there we go. It's Leeds 1, Millwall 0 in the watch-along.
Professionalism is.
Professionalism is. Thank you for these people up here as well who get a lovely view, and you get to see the bit out of shot over there where there's a load of crap and a light pointing at the thing on TikTok as well. We're over on TikTok and Instagram and all that nonsense. Clever free kick by Millwall has been put out wide. Obafemi comes inside, hits the shot. Meslier palms it away. Fleming, and it's well dealt with by Leeds.
Another moment for Millwall, though, Ben. I suspect the attacking momentum graph looks a little bit more favourable for Millwall.
You think there's some orange 20. On it now? Why are Millwall not wearing blue today, by the way? They've got white socks or something. Denor heads that forward. Rute tries to get the flick on.
Denor's made a difference, hasn't he? I quite like him.
Yeah, it's difficult because Harris wants to kind of play crash bang wallop a bit and be good defensively. So he's gone for, 2 more. What's the polite word? A friend of the channel, Billy Mitchell. 2 more solid,
pragmatic
midfielders. Yeah. Whereas Denor's a bit more of a ball player, isn't he? Sarkic hits that one long. It's cleared back down the ground.
Has James gone over to the right? He has, hasn't he? We were debating that. Yeah, Leeds sat off a little bit, haven't they? As well as Millwall getting back into it.
Well, as I said, it just gets a bit nervy, doesn't it, in the last 15 minutes? And Leeds were so dominant, weren't they, in minutes 45 to 60 that, they've got to manage the game now. And they understand that 1-0 is 100% a better result than 1-1. That sounds like it's stating the obvious. It doesn't matter if you don't go top. If you're going to end up drawing 1-1, you don't even go second if you do that. So, there's some game management and a long game to be played here for Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess another sub for Leeds.
Jaden Anthony is coming in for Cree Somerville. So he swapped out the wingers now. Check out the mine and Richard's normal Ipswich show, the Blue Monday podcast. That's tonight at 8 p.m. with Craig and Mikey and Dave.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt the championship check-in tomorrow without Sam, who's swanning off to go and see his dad in France. So maybe we'll go live with that one tomorrow night and see if we can keep the championship check-in weekly commitment going with me waffling on for an hour, and we'll let the audience take on that. And then international break. And breathe, everybody. Obafemi. Kamara fouled him. Ref waves the advantage. Piru in, says India Zul. Well, it's Anthony in so far. Bamford still on up top for Leeds. Saville, nice carry. Well played. Watmore gets a bit lucky. That took a deflection. Obafemi, edge of the box. Obafemi, nice feet. Obafemi's done really well. Can he get the shot off? And he puts it over the bar, which he needs to shoot when he goes inside Gray. He goes to take him on again, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I think he should have shot. I'm going to do a paragraph there. And he goes outside.
Well,
again.
So Roden slides in, and I kind of think once he's gone past Roden, you could open a goal up there. Yeah, I guess he's on the wrong foot, but there's a couple of times. And then I thought maybe he got lucky in a deflection from the defender, but he hasn't. But he's got moments, isn't he, Obafemi, where he's got into those positions, but tried to maybe overcomplicate it. You just think if it's fallen to Fleming, I don't think he thinks twice. I think he gets his boot through it. And if you do that, Ben, you always get the chaos of a ricochet or a random bounce, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. Denor, Bamford's strong play, but then gives the ball away. Oh, Tanganga, don't lose it there. Oh, he does well to just bail himself out there. And here's Obafemi. Watmore's run off him, clipped over the top. That's poor from Obafemi, isn't it? Watmore's got pace as well, Rich, hasn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was on there. It just needed a quality ball over to the left into the. It was probably the right type of ball. He just far too central and right down the throat of Meslier. But even if he sticks it left and takes Watmore away from goal, I think Watmore gets on the end of it, doesn't he? And gives him a chance to get a cross in.
Kamara.
But look at Millwall, kind of almost up on halfway now, when as before it was they were just in front of their 18-yard box. Their line is much higher.
You're probably right about splitting the game into 3.5 hours, aren't you? And they're obviously, with the 4 subs coming on minute 61, having a crack in the last part of this game. As you say, the may as well. Lovely slide down the line by Gray to James. James puts a cross in, big chance. Bamford is scooped up onto the roof of the net, and
he wants a corner, which he's shouldn't get. But
that was a beautiful direct bit of play by Leeds. Look at that for a ball down the line.
Timed it right, didn't he, James? I thought he might have been offside, and obviously Bamford
it comes off Tanganga, doesn't it?
Does it?
I think so. Yeah.
That's a great block.
Yeah, it's a great block. Look at Sarkic. He just lays down. Right. If that's dropping in the goal, I ain't getting it. It should be a corner to Leeds. We can't get the wide shot from Sky. Tanganga, good tackle there.
I think he's been their best player, probably, Ben Tanganga.
On the near post. Dan James is going to swing this one out with the right foot. And it comes. Rodon was there. I think Rute should probably left that for Rodon coming in behind him. Over it goes, Rich. 77-34 on the clock.
Yeah, that's not great from either side. The positioning there, they're all kind of bunched into the middle around the penalty spot. I just kind of think, as I said before, I don't think Leeds have got these corners right. I will always be playing them short, especially when the height advantage is largely with the defence. But it just to me felt like that corner needs to go all the way out, and there was no one on the left-hand side for Leeds sweeping up. But in the end, Mill will deal with it. And it's weirdly poised, this game, Ben. It's
going to get nervous. Well, there's one goal in it, and you've got a team who thinks, if we nick a goal, that's a hell of a result. Going away to a team who's going for a 12th win out of 13. All good strength from Rute, edge of the box. Rute puts it across. James, surely, and it's into the back of the net. It forced over the line by Dan James. He waited an eternity before he hit it. Leeds have made us wait an eternity before making this game safe. There's a player back on the line. He can't block it. And Leeds United are going top of the Championship. 2-0. How long did he wait before he hit that?
It's not a classic, but he's patient, isn't he? Yeah, it's all about the move down the left-hand side, isn't it? Strength from Reuter, isn't he? And it's all a little bit chaotic from the... Everyone's diving in.
Sarkic behind the line trying to block it, isn't he?
Sarkic, I think, goes to ground here, doesn't he? Before he's expected.
He does well, James.
Fair play. I don't know whether James gives him the eyes as if he's going to go and shoot, but... It's not a vintage goal, but Farker and Leeds will not
Daniel
care.
Farker loves it because he knows he's going top of the table. And if you're a Leeds fan, you're going to appreciate what I'm about to put on the screen because it says 1 Leeds, 82 points, 42 goal difference. We knew this was the prize for Leeds. If they could win by 2 today, they are 2 up. They have deserved to win this game today, but Millwall were just rallying. So it's a really well-timed goal, isn't it? I mean, such thing as a badly timed goal, but you know what I'm saying, Rich, don't you?
Yeah, it's weird to say it. I was about to say just before the move happened, the game feels really weirdly poised because Leeds should be out of sight in terms of territory and possession. To give this a chance to play out.
Yeah, Sarkic.
But again, in terms of shots on target, Ben, I'm looking at the stats. It says 5 for Leeds. I think that's just before the goal. It doesn't feel like that. I don't feel like Sarkic has worked that hard, but Leeds have definitely had the better of the territory, the better of the kind of final third positioning. And I just don't feel like they've really tested Millwall that much in terms of the rest of the dominance they've had on the game. Of course, they deserve to be 2-0 up, if not more. But Millwall had got right back into it as much as we were criticising them start the second. But yeah, Leeds just got the goal at the right time. It's weird to say it. Kind of, it's not against the run of play for the game as a whole, but maybe for the last 10 minutes, it may be.
No, game state when Leeds scored the second was very much okay. Millwall 4 subs, nothing to lose, go for it a little bit. Whereas the game state from halfway was Leeds are all over Millwall and they're going to score the second. So it did change. And it's difficult sometimes not to look at the game as a whole and, the game management bit. But Leeds have done it well, haven't they? And they've not, how can I say it? They've not been in control of this game really at any point for the whole 90, have they?
No, that's fair. And the quality tells as well. Another, James has come off the bench. I think someone in the chat said bets on Dan James to score after 5 minutes of coming on, didn't he? I think
he's probably about right, wasn't he?
Probably about close, isn't it? But again, that's the difference between these two teams and the top four maybe against the rest of the league. We talk about Ipswich having starters and finishers. Can bring on the likes of Sarmiento and Ali Al-Hamadi, but Dan James has come off the bench, hasn't really touched the ball actually, if we think about it, but has got a goal, and that's you maybe sometimes against the lesser teams in the division or the teams struggling down the bottom, you don't have to be at your flamboyant best, do you, all the time?
Oh, Farker says in all his press conferences it's just about consistency and muscle memory. You're not really brilliant all the time, just get it done. Fleming off the left. Fleming pops the cross in right-footed. Should have been a goal back. That shouldn't. It's a free header in the middle of the box. Is it Ryan Longman arriving from the right wing? He should probably score there, shouldn't he?
I think he does right in terms of, I think the header.
He's offside, to be fair.
Okay. But he goes for he bounces it down.
I see a flag as well. Yeah, he would have been offside.
But I think from there, you want to go the other side. Not near post, but maybe he's trying to catch out the keeper. But
yeah, linesman was right. Anyway. Linesman was right with the flag, wasn't it? 82:50 on the clock. Leeds 2, Millwall 0. Leeds are going top of the league. Unless Millwall score.
And I was wondering, is Neil Harris's encouragement there, Ben, to keep it to 2, or is it we can get a goal and make this a nervy last 10? I don't know.
The latter, I guess. They're set up to kind of, have a crack now, aren't they? Obafemi knocks that back in. Tanganga gets fouled by Bamford. Could have let that roll on, couldn't he? Referee Martin.
The trouble, Obafemi really, high prospect player, isn't he? Well, I think there's been moments today where you put a slightly more experienced striker in those positions, and I think better choices are made that give Millwall a chance to get a shot on goal. I think that's the trouble. There was an opportunity there for Obafemi to spray the ball left. It was a 1v1 on the left-hand side, but Millwall have got an opportunity to fling the ball into the box, and with their height, you never know.
And it comes from Saville. Cooper just jumped too early there, didn't he? And Firpo headed it away. Oh, here come the red arrows. Dan James, if you haven't seen him live, is one of the fastest players you'll come across. Here is McNamara on the other side. Is your frustration with Obafemi that you've got quite high expectations for him in the first place?
So. Yeah, maybe. He was one that we did a feature on our podcast in January, a few potential loan targets for Ipswich. And maybe that's given me a kind of a skewed perception of him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a really difficult situation, obviously. Millwall away at Leeds, it's not a great situation to be in. It's not as if he's got a load of players who are bombing on beyond him that he can get the ball to, but it does feel, the shot that you talked about where the ball drops for him in the box, he does really well twice to get away from his defenders, but probably should get a shot away and doesn't. And I just kind of feel like he's made, well, who am I to talk, right? But I feel like there's choices that he can make that create a chance or open up leads, and for whatever reason, he's just taken the wrong decision.
Tanganga, did he get fouled then?
He's a bit frustrated, isn't he?
I think he wanted a foul, but I think it's going to be a throw-in. And they just got to play this one out, Leeds, now to go top of the league. Probably not going to be a massive deal of stoppage time. 85:30 on the clock. And Jake Cooper in Rio Ferdinand mode here.
And to your point,
he's pinged it out to the left wing. Unbelievable,
wasn't it? But to your point at half-time, Ben has not got involved in anything, has he?
No, exactly. Watmore pokes that through. Obafemi does well, holds it up. Where are you going, fella? Denor hits the shot down the throat of Ilan Melia. It's worth mentioning Leeds' defensive record. I don't know if anyone in the chat can illuminate us a bit more. Just don't concede any goals, do they?
Again, Obafemi does really well, but takes the ball away from goal. And in terms of Leeds at home, Ben, obviously there are no defeats, only 12 conceded at home.
And I think from this run from the new year, just they've only conceded like 1 or 2 goals. Also, there you go. Thanks, Clive. 3 goals conceded in 2024, which is probably, well, that must be the 13 games, mustn't it? And this is a 12th win out of 13, which, to your point earlier, when you look at the trends, even though Leicester have got brilliant players and a game in hand, there's just a big argument. I know Sam's a big backer of Leicester and their quality on the Championship Check-In podcast, but there's a big argument that this momentum is, really strongly with Leeds, isn't it? Poke through, Obafemi holds, Obafemi turns out, knocks it inside, little toe ender on that, and Denor McNamara, he's offside. More, isn't he? Doesn't matter. Out it goes.
He's having a chat with some Leeds fans there.
I do admire football players. I know they're well paid, but to have a grown man waving 2 fingers in your face like that, I know what I'd want to do, but
the Sky suggesting the goal is offside. It's not. The second goal,
VAR would have had fun with that, wouldn't they?
No, it's not offside. Yeah,
87:40 on the clock. I always get asked this question. Ben, should Ipswich go up? Will you be a Premier League channel? Well, Ipswich went down to League One and this continued being a Championship channel. So if we survive that, we'll be all right.
Are you going to, do you still do Dilly Departed? I haven't seen a bit.
We do the Premier League predictions. So, okay. We try and do bits and bobs of Premier League stuff.
Well, if Ipswich do go up, I forget who asked the question. Let me look back in the chat. Was it John?
John.
Blue Monday podcast.
Blue Monday.
That will be it. That's always Ipswich Town, but I'm keeping everything crossed that it's also Ipswich Town and Premier League next season, John. So head over there.
Imagine that. Melier. Ampadu. Melier. We're coming into minute 89 in the next 30 seconds.
I'm predicting 3 minutes of added time. I don't think there's been a huge amount of excitement for the referee. He's had a quiet set. As much as the first half was a bit fighty, doesn't mean a huge amount of controversy from this half, is there?
No. Melier goes long with the left foot.
Well, he's launched that, hasn't he?
Bamford versus Tanganga. McNamara comes in and helps him out, as they would say in Canada. My Trailer Park Boys.
Hello, Canada. We're sorry about that.
Anyone watching in Canada, here come Matteo Joseph, Connor Roberts, and Joel Pirro, 2 former Swansea players, a €10 million striker, a Premier League loanee right back, and a player who scored a couple of goals at Chelsea the other night in the FA Cup. And Daniel Farker trying to psych Joel Pirro up for what's probably, as Rich says, either going to be 3, 4, 5 minutes stoppage time. And
this
Glenn
is going to change that.
Is coming out. Pat Bamford is coming out. So Gray's going to go and play in midfield from right back, and Roberts will go and play right back. There's all a lot of analysis for what's going to be seeing out 5 minutes of stoppage time.
I'm going to say this now, Ben, rather than message you about it later on, but apologies for when you clip up the goals for your socials. Dan James' goal, I think I went, because I thought, so apologies for that, for ruining your socials. But
no, mate, don't worry about it.
It was a bit of a sluggy goal, but actually watching it back second time around, he's very cute, isn't he? And
we're very happy to have you here. Jorginho Ruter comes out. Joel Pirro looks absolutely delighted to be coming in. Minute 90 to play. What we got? 6 minutes of stoppage time.
Joel Pirro looking like he's come back from the pub and his missus said, "Oh, could you stick the bins out before you come in?"
Oh dear. Jorginho Ruter has been given the Man of the Match award. Really a massive standout contender for that, has there been? But I suppose Rutez is as good as any. Let us know if you agree, disagree strongly with that. Oh, James drives. Oh, great strike by James. Could have been a 3-0 there, and they've hit the post again, Leeds, and the stats are actually going to look quite brutal for it. Great turn there. A yellow card for Ilya Gruev.
6 minutes. That's twice as much.
Rugby tackle.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are 91-35. So we're 1.5 minutes into a minimum of 6 minutes of stoppage time. Dan James really unlucky there. It's a good strike with the left foot. He's just inside the box. It's bending inwards. Oh, it's really unlucky, isn't it? Smacks off the post.
Another chance from the edge of the box, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Tanganga to Saville. Denor, nice little outside of the right foot pass, but
he's I think he's made an impression coming on.
Yeah, is he Belgian? Denor? I can't remember whether they got him in close season, but yeah, he was the one
Belgian.
You think they could have built around as they go to this expansive football, but yeah, it didn't turn out to be. So, throw in for Millwall. I can't remotely see who that is over in the sunshine over there. Referee Hench. He is quite ripped, isn't he?
Yeah, he
Referee Martin. I think he does like chest 3 out of 4 days and then just does a full body workout on the other day. So he's just on the bench press the whole time, isn't he?
Got to be able to point and get the guns out at the same time, isn't he?
It's the pecs, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Referee Hench.
Do you want the short sleeve or the long sleeve shirt? Oh, I think I'll have the short sleeve if that's right.
Do you remember the Cameroon vest in one of the World Cups? Yeah, you should wear one of those.
Can you imagine a referee in a sleeveless shirt? That'd be quality.
That's pure WWE. Here is Fleming. Fleming pops it to the back stick, left-footed. That's horrendous. 2 players getting it. Well, actually,
he's kept it in.
Yeah, keep it alive with Saville. Saville to Tanganga to Cooper. I assume he's going to appear out of my shot. Brian. Tanganga, 93.50. So just over 2 minutes of minimum stoppage time to play. Leeds are going top of the league if they don't concede a goal in the remaining seconds now. 120 of them of this game.
Ben's doing his best, everyone, to try and tempt that. He's calling out to the football gods there.
I have no interest in whatever happens. May the best team win. I just got to try and hype it up to keep people going to the end of. Jonathan Pearce. I was watching Leicester Chelsea a bit earlier while I was tidying up. Oh, slide through there. Trying to hype up Chelsea being 2-0 up at Leicester. To be fair to him, Leicester got it back to 2-2, so he was right, wasn't he? Roberts down the line to Piru. Thank you all the people who've tuned in on TikTok today as well on my phone up there. We'll try and keep doing that on the live streams as well. For those people who prefer their Chinese product in their social media land.
Enjoy it before it's get banned in America.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Cooper.
It's weird to say it, Ben, but if I was a Millwall fan, I would be moderately heartened by the second half performance. In respect of keeping in it, largely restricting Leeds to chances, albeit the second goal obviously comes from just, a 6-yard box kind of level, but shots from around the box, having a go at it about 65 minutes. The odds were never in their favour, but actually I think Millwall have done okay. If you rewind maybe a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks, I suspect this might have been a 4 or a 5 maybe.
They've got back-to-back games. I know they play West Brom, but they've got back-to-back games against Rotherham and Huddersfield, Millwall, and that is the real test, isn't it? Where can they score 4 points in those 2 games and, really whack on another bit on the table? Foul We're at the 96 minutes, the minimum stoppage time. That's a ridiculous shot by George Saville. I think that should just about do us. I don't think there's been any stoppages in stoppage time. I'm imagining Meslier is going to boot this down the ground. And referee Martin is going to blow. I think he's probably just told him, actually,
Go on, Steve.
Kick this up in the air, fella, and I'm going to blow.
And I've just noticed that Millwall's badge shade of orange is different from the shirt shade of orange. And that has really annoyed me. I'm really glad I've spotted that now at 96 minutes and not at 1 minute, because that would have been bugging me the whole game.
There we go. That is full time. Leeds United are top of the Championship. They were at 1 point 17 points behind Leicester City. The Foxes didn't play this round. They played in the FA Cup. Leeds have got the 2-goal win that they needed, and Leeds United go top of the Championship on 82 points. Just let that sink in as well. There's 8 games to go for Leeds. They've already got 82 points. And you would think at this time of the season, Rich, if you had 82 points, you'd be about 5 to 10 points clear at the top. But there's Leicester with 82 and Ipswich with 81 just behind. Southampton now, even with the games in hand, 73. They've really got to go on a hell of a tear, Southampton. Rich, sum that one up. It's just really professional from Leeds. It's a deserved win. They managed it nicely, and they go top of the table.
Yeah, professional, as you said, definitely the word to describe it. As someone with a little bit of interestedness in respect of the top 4, you kind of go into it hoping that Millwall might spring a surprise. Recent form has been positive, but on paper, the lineups, the quality is just really stark between them. And as much as Millwall can maybe bring a bit of fight, a bit of directness, and create those chances, you always felt that Leeds and the quality they had, particularly in the front 4 positions, would tell the difference, and it has. And Nonto, it took a really quality goal to open the scoring. It's fair play to Millwall for making that the case, but a brilliant goal. And then the second one, maybe at a point where Millwall had actually come back into the game and were maybe looking to take it to Leeds a little bit. But as always, it kind of felt like Leeds were in control, and brought on the subs at the right time, saw it out, and top of the league. And as we said before, again, was someone with an interest in what's happening in the top 4. For me, the narrative obviously Leeds up there now, but Leicester being dragged back into it. When was the last time that Leicester weren't top of the division? And admittedly, there's games in hand, etc., but it just continues to ratchet up that pressure. Points on the board for Leeds, points on the board for Ipswich, and Leicester and Southampton have to watch on. I just got
to reiterate, 12 wins out of 13, and they don't concede any goals. I just feel that, there is with the game in hand and, whatever Leicester's scored, I just feel that this tear and that guy, Daniel Farker as well. They've got the guy who's, going to be a bit of a goat if he gets a 3rd Championship title under his belt. He's just the guy. And in those 2 promotions with Norwich, I think he won 8 in a row in the first one. I think he might have won 9 in a row in the second one as well. He really is just a master at this league, isn't he?
He is. And we forget that he joined on the eve of the season. He didn't get a pre-season, but this, I think, he's really fortunate. He's got a really excellent squad as well, though, Ben, hasn't he? I know they've recruited since he came in, but it seems to be that the package is there, and there's question marks about Leicester in terms of how they finish games. Also, Enzo Maresca, the first time that as Farker salutes the Leeds fans there's question marks for me about Enzo Maresca, of late as well. Beaten, say, in the FA Cup, no surprises really there. But I just kind of feel that experience, that know-how of having done it, really puts Leeds in a strong position with Farker. And if Leicester don't get a win in their next league match, then everything is really back on, isn't it? And everything's to play for. And if you're Ipswich, Ipswich are not out of this, Ben, in terms of the top 2 either. We talked about the defeat to Cardiff last time out, won yesterday, bounced back. I know I'm making it about Ipswich and you asked me about Leeds, but I feel like Leeds are probably now favourites to win the title, I would say. I know that the games probably favour Leicester in terms of the games in hand, but that momentum. The whole package, Ben, seems to be there. Whether there's question marks about Leicester, there's question marks about Ipswich, there's question marks about
No
Southampton.
question marks about Leeds.
I don't have
at the
anything
moment,
about
is there?
Leeds,
No.
really. It's the lazy narrative about, Leeds might have a brain fart or, mess up. If they were going to mess up, you kind of felt like it might be in a game today, and they've been so professional about it. So fair play, Leeds. And Leicester, Southampton, you've got it all to do now.
Professionalism is, and that is the end of the watch along. Indeed, I'm absolutely knackered here, so I'm going to sign off. Rich, massive thanks. We love having you on the watch alongs, not only for my benefit, because I get to speak half as much and don't have to just babble on for 2.5 hours, but we really appreciate your insight, and it can get a bit one voice with me just giving my opinion the whole time, as much as we try and put the debate in the chat up on the screen. Thank you everybody for joining. We are in international break now, so I do want to kind of try and at least enjoy a little bit of a breather. We'll go live for the championship check-in tomorrow, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do on the channel through the 2 weeks. We get some predictions up and whatnot for the run, and I know you guys all enjoy that stuff. I've remembered what I was supposed to plug as well, Rich. You can join up and support the channel down there somewhere. It says join, and you can get a few little perks there. You get the tribal football columns. You get early access to those. You join a WhatsApp group, and you can come and chop it up with me and tell me what you think of me to my face, if you dare, on the round tables.
I do pop a thumbs up as well.
Yeah, please.
Do subscribe if you haven't as well. Thanks, everyone. I've really enjoyed. Yeah, it was a very much more enjoyable experience than last week.
Not watching
my team chuck it away at injury time. So yeah, no skin in the game today. So
I'd recommend it to anyone. Just watch a team that's not your own and just enjoy football, for goodness sake. But there you go, guys. Thank you so much. Let me know over on Twitter and in the YouTube community tab what sort of content you want during the break. Let's be honest, we'll be back with Sam early next week, and it'll be here we go again for the ridiculous Easter bang 3-game week bang, and then by God, there's only 30. That would take us to 33. Well, I mean 43. Maybe 3 games left after that, and we really know where we are at that point. So big time coming up. Get yourselves all psyched up. Congratulations to all our Leeds subscribers, of which we know, yes, there are many. Your boys are top of the league. Leeds 2, Millwall 0, and Leeds hit the summit at exactly the right time. It was Leeds 2, Millwall 0. Thank you, Rich, and thank you everybody for joining the watch along.